You could have heard this episode 48 hours early on our Patreon, patreon.com/indieheadspodcast. By joining us for as low as $1 a month, receive episodes early, gain access to our Discord server, and get yourself an Indieheads podcast sticker. Mainline episodes will open our Patreon 48 hours before it hits our public podcast feeds. But if you're hearing this via our Patreon feed, we thank you so much for your support. We especially want to thank our Real Ones Patreon supporters, including Becca Etienne, Georgia Mikowski, Bradley P., James Boss, Marcy Anime, Delaney Mothman, Josiah Duncan, Janelle 4, Matt Cameron, Estray Violet, Kevin Pierce, A. Watt, Javon Clement, 3 Twist Balloon Dog, Charles, Nicole Rifkin, Tim's Discount Prices, Commander of Beef, Jay, Rena K, Ian, Matthew Taylor, Chance Holdup, Sarah Moore, Griff, Max Kapazinski, Mark Barry, Cal 50, One Identified Human Testicle Found by the Road, Chris Wade, Jake Wald, Grant, Keep Autism Weird, Rob Mariano, Max, Zach, Gavin Party Freak, Amber Grossi, Maze Farms, and Alex Grishmanov. And if you want to be amongst these names, consider upgrading to our Real One tier on Patreon, where you'll receive a bonus episode every month on top of other perks. And before we move into this episode, I just want to thank the rest of our Patreon supporters like Jason Daphnis, Kevin Cookman, June K, Desmond, Ali Eleanor, Chedas, Nato, Eric Chow, Josh, Holiday Kirk, Drew Wharton, Jane Amjadi, Alexis David, Cody Gagan, Barely March, Mingle LaFleur, Will Griffin, Corbin Kamich, Gavlin, Matthew, Ethan Sapir, Matthew McPherson, Rainey Donaldson, Eleanor Grahams, Wilfer Thrill, Garris 420, Lily, Jacqueline Kadiga, Alec Felder, Midwest Maxwell, Molly O'Brien, AJ Moser, Eraserhead Baby, Matthew Herring, Jack Diggleman, Sarah L., Jeremy Bull, and Derek Pemberton. Anyways, though, enjoy the episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Indieheads podcast. I am your host, Matty Monroe. I am joined on this episode by Violet and special guests J.P. Can I say your last name now? Or are you?
No. I'm still like desperately trying to get a real job that's not freelance. So no.
All right, JP.
But yeah, no, I appreciate it though. Thank you. Yeah, I'm here.
J Redacted, as we're going to call him.
Redacted.
J Redacted.
There we go.
So before we get into the topic of this episode, which there's 3 things to address. Number 1, of course, this is not the episode that was promised 2 weeks ago, or even last week when we did YouTuber music as our bonus episode. We were supposed to record an episode called Ruthless Fable. We've been trying to get it on the books for weeks now because, and we just can't because it's a Gavin episode and Gavin cannot record any episodes right now. Gavin has been having job issues. We'll call them job issues. Job issues. His job is trying to stop him from revealing the forbidden rifts. There are forbidden rifts that he so desperately wants to give you, the listeners, but his job is preventing him from giving us those forbidden rifts. So for the time being, we had a couple episodes of his that were planned to be our next ones. Those are going to be put on some kind of indefinite delay until we kind of figure out what's going on there. So yeah, that is the update. Hopefully Gavin will be back on the podcast very, very soon. I'm hoping this is a temporary issue, but still we're going to blame Gavin anyways. Gavin, fuck you for having a job. That sucks. Your job. Hey, be unemployed. Go be unemployed. I'm not unemployed. I won't be, but you should, Gavin, you should be unemployed. I think that'd be a really good, fun career arc for you to do. Just be unemployed.
Become unemployed. Join the masses.
I would say join Jay.
Unemployed people.
Join Jay.
Join me, who is always like, yeah, I need insurance, but it's way too expensive, even if I'm just like freelancing. So yeah, no, do it. It's terrible. Don't do that. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
But unleash the forbidden rift.
Yeah, please, especially on Ruthless Fable, which was probably gonna be an episode full of forbidden riffs, and by forbidden I mean about metal guys that I don't know, so I wouldn't know anything about them, and I was excited to learn. But that is our first point of topic. Our second point is the ongoing tournament that we have happening in the Indieheads podcast Discord. If you're listening to this episode when it comes out on Sunday, I'm assuming this episode's going to be up on Sunday, maybe Monday, whenever. For our Patreon listeners, when you're hearing this, we're probably about to be towards the end of the Guy One Climax, which is this tournament that we're doing. So by the time this comes out publicly, we'll probably get into the second leg of this tournament. And what is the Guy One Climax? Well, let me tell you about the birds and the bees, okay, listeners. So, just kidding. Guy One Climax, which is which full credit there to Maze Farms, long time real one Maze Farms. I was like, we should do a best songs ever like round robin tournament, like the G1 Climax in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And immediately he was like, the Guy One Climax, and I was like, all right, I'm taking that and we're going from there. So the Guy One Climax is a tournament that we're doing in our Discord to determine once and for all what is the best song ever. What's the best song ever? We have had many songs in our history that Gavin he has a running playlist going called Best Songs Ever that basically is a we've talked about it before on the episode, but it's essentially it's an encyclopedia for our guys and gals and our favorite songs that we've talked about on the podcast over the years, on the podcast and in the Discord server. And we are doing a tournament to determine what is the best song of the bunch. And by the time this episode goes up, we'll probably be getting into the next leg of the tournament where the competition is going to get really, really fierce. So if you want to be a part of this tournament, hey, patreon.com/Indieheads podcasts. Just $1 a month gets you in the Discord server. So, hey, consider that and vote your damn heart out, okay? If you're in line to vote for Pink Chocolate by Jay Bigga, stay in line.
Stay in line.
If you're in line to vote for DG, stay in line.
Stay the fucking... Oh my god, please stay in line.
Please
She's been
stay in
getting
line.
brutal matchups, and I want her to have a fighting chance. She has gone up against, like, our main guys every single fucking round, and I'm starting to smell stunt, Matty.
Well, look, here's the thing. It's a round robin tournament, so every song in the block goes up against every song. So DG will face 11 opponents throughout the tournament. So she will, again, just the way that the automatic round robin tournament thing that I use, it just put her in some really rough seeds, some really rough early seeds. But hey, it's anyone's game at this point of recording, although by the time this comes out publicly, it will not be anyone's game. There will definitely be songs that are mathematically eliminated. So
A moment of silence for the songs that already didn't make it into the tournament. The biggest robbery, I would say, is Good Directions.
That's crazy. Did not get in. I have no idea how that didn't get in. That does not make any sense to me because we did an initial thinning the herd to just figure out what songs, and part of it could be the way that I set up the blocks, But even then, like I was like, I felt like that was a safe bet. That was like, well, of course that's going to get in.
It feels like we have like 5 goddamn Big Bopper songs in there, but Good Directions not making it is crazy. And I do love those Bopper songs, but I mean, Good Directions Film Festival is like one of my favorite episodes we've done, and that song we listened to it like for 2 hours straight, and I still will put it on and listen to it, and I don't get sick of it.
Yeah,
I think it's just too cerebral for the average man. Like
that's true.
Is this true?
It's honestly, it's something that can actually be a little scary if you're not prepared for it. But it is what it is. It's fine. You can't expect the camel of good art to pass through the eye of the needle of mob intelligence, as it were. And that's why we have to stand by Billy Currington whenever anybody asks anything about the Good Directions Film Festival.
Yes. And,
right.
And hey, there may be a sequel at some point in the near future.
All I'm saying is I already have a playlist for it.
So that is the Guy One Climax update. But of course, on the bonus episode, and I guess maybe did we talk about this 2 weeks ago? I don't think we did because we would have talked about it immediately. But we mentioned this on the bonus episode, but of course not everyone has access to those. But we discovered a new Jay Bigga song. We have been, of course, obsessed with Pink Chocolate and Na Na Na, and I guess to a much lesser extent, Puppies. He's been one of our main guys, just someone that we love to riff on and listen to and laugh at and just figure out what the fuck is going on there. And we discovered a song, his first music video, in fact, for a song called Ice Cold Blonde. And listeners, we want you to hear this. If you've not heard this yet, if you're not on our Discord or just you haven't been paying attention to the bits, trust me, you got to pay attention. This is one of the craziest songs we've discovered in our history. And we're going to watch the music video here, which the music video is not that important. It's just a bunch of motocross footage and Jay Bigga shirtless, pop punk music video.
If you've ever seen an episode of Viva La Bam, you have seen this music video basically a million times.
Exactly. But the song itself, the star of the show is a song. So let's listen to Ice Cold Blonde by Jay Bigga before we get into the main topic of this episode. So this was uploaded 18 years ago, so the sound quality sounds like it. Okay, we're going to go line by line. I hate to pause in the middle of the song, but that line, words out my mouth, fish mouth, is that confirm what he's saying?
So it's actually a little contentious. I believe there were previously uploaded genius lyrics to this. A lot of them, I don't know if they sound accurate to what he's saying. It definitely sounds like he's saying words out my mouth, fish mouth. And Barely March was the one who said, I don't think he's saying fish mouth. I believe he's saying words out my mouthish mouth, which isn't a great lyric anyway, but makes a little bit more sense. But then we looked at the Genius page, and everything, I believe it was please excuse my fish mouth, which, like, how is fish mouth the part that we're agreeing is a lyric in the song?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Crazy. I've been trying to figure this out in my head, and I kept thinking it was like words out of my selfish mouth. And it's not that.
No,
like,
it sounds
you
a little
go back
too...
and listen, it's not that.
Let's slow it down really slow and see if we can pick apart this syllable. Okay, that's fish mouth.
That is words out my mouth, fish mouth.
Words out. I could hear selfish. Words out my mouth, self. But even itself, the rhyme doesn't go. It's got to be fish mouth. Like what? One more time.
No,
one more time.
He's not saying selfish mouth.
That's fish mouth.
Yeah, he doesn't make like an S noise with his to say selfish. That is mouth fish mouth.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If you haven't already figured out, Jay Bigga pronounces words really, really weirdly on this song. That is only one of many baffling line deliveries. So we're gonna try not to pause too much unless it's something that we have to pause on. I know there's one particular word that he says that we're definitely gonna have to pause and talk about a little bit. But all right, back to the song. While I stare at you, sticks drew coming out. I'm telling you, honestly, your goddess neat. What the fuck what is he saying?
The man doesn't know.
He
doesn't know what an adverb is.
Yes.
And he says, you're goddessly, which, like, that's not how that works. I've been, like, enraptured by the tight pants or tight shirt to loose pants ratio.
Yeah.
Like, the man's got, like, gigantic volume Jinkos on and a Youth Medium t-shirt on. It's it was really a time out there.
He sounds like he's singing Simlish of a pre-existing song, basically.
I mean, it's the first Hopelandic pop punk song, as someone in the server said.
Really appropriate that you've got the Turnstile short right next to the Jay Bigga video, considering this is like basically what I imagine the next Turnstile record is going to sound like. And he kind of looks like the Turnstile guy.
He's got a little bit of Brennan in him, unfortunately.
Okay, get a little Brennan going.
Okay, let's hear this line delivery he just made real quick. Okay. The man is overdosing on Tom DeLonge. Why is he?
Yes.
Why'd you say it like that,
Yeah.
Jay Bigga? Why'd you say it like that, John Browning?
I think my favorite shot in this entire video is the one where he's wearing what can only describe as a Bam Margera hat, a blue T-shirt, and then like a grandma beaded necklace that is the exact same shade of blue as his shirt. Like he's got like a Meemaw fit on.
I think like the whole thing that's been killing me about this on multiple watches is that he is not riding any of those motorcycles.
No.
He's just there for the vibes. He is locked in with the bros as they do all the cool motocross stuff.
And in this video, this does not look like Laced Me Up era Jay Bigga, and it does not look like Scene era Jay. His look I can only describe right now as early out on Daisy of Love.
He does look like he's about to get off the next bus and immediately get nexted.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Oh, here we go.
I had to take a sepig. Like I
What
think.
the?
Why are you saying it like? I think we've determined that he's definitely trying to say second, but he's saying it.
He's saying Sepig.
Sepig.
Yeah, he says seppage. Yeah.
What?
That is not second.
But like, what else would he be trying to say?
Did a bee sting him in the studio? Like, that's the only excuse I could think of for this.
Yeah, it's real bad.
It's like he was coming up with lines and only had enough time in the studio for one vocal take. They were like, listen, man, you got one shot at this. You're not getting more than, 5 minutes in the studio here for $15. So make it count.
Yeah. It's like, if on Lace Me Up, he's guessing the harmonies, here he's just guessing the English language. Like, it sounds like an alien trying to learn the English language and just malfunctioning.
It borders on that like Italian song that the guy made where he tried to make it sound like it was English despite it not being any English words.
Yeah.
Like it definitely borders on that. He's putting up his own posters. We didn't even talk about his fucking lip sync in this video. He's lip syncing like Nathan Fielder when he did the Morning Walk song.
Yeah,
and he's just going zippity daw. Yeah.
This one is real bad. It's listeners, it is so bad, but it's so fascinating. I mean, as we said, this is between the Scene era and the Lace Me Up era. And
last Tuesday.
It is like the thing is that this video was uploaded in 2007, and what Lace Me Up was that 04, 05? What year?
It was about 04, 03, I think.
Yeah. So this is not. So this guy has been trying to like have a music career for a number of years at this point, and decides in 2007 when like at this point the pop punk wave was like about to crash, right? Like was it at its peak at this point? Arguably yes, but also like in retrospect, that wave was about to crash very hard and very, very fast. Like fucking Fall Out Boy was about to drop, Full of Dew, Panic was about to kill their careers for a brief period of time. My Kim was about to enter like developmental hell and kind of basically abandon what they were and go in a different direction. This wave was about to end. Things were the recession was about to hit, and this style of music was going to be dead for a bit. And obviously, Blink had their problems at this point. Blink had already broken up at this point. Like this wave was about to die, and Jay Bigga, God bless him. Not really. No, I think
No,
he should die.
Don't say that.
No,
God damn him.
God damn him.
Yes.
Damn him to hell.
I will say, I think it is interesting how his face changes from style to style. Famously on Lace Me Up, podcast The Ride, we love this quote about the Lace Me Up cover. But Jay Bigga does look like a toy on the cover of that. He looks like a Lazy Town puppet. And he's singing these songs about fucking and sucking and his Blanco machete. And then in this video, he kind of looks like Eagle the Muppet. And he's singing this indecipherable song, seemingly while having an allergic reaction. And then we get to the scene era, and at that point, it's a 30-year-old man rocking the fringe, the bangs, and it just becomes the saddest thing on earth.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't like this channel. This is a bad channel.
One of the
yeah,
this is a bad channel for sure.
We have lots of videos of him talking about certain subjects, so that's a great archive. It's a good archive for us to dive into if we want to.
It's good to know where he stands on all of his political beliefs.
Yeah.
For some reason, you get to know about everything he says.
This is Jay Bigga.
Yeah, they're definitely one of the most fun bands in Vegas.
I think it's got a lot of market.
So this is from the shoot of Ice Cold Blonde.
This is Jay Bigga.
Making the video.
Yeah.
This is Jay Bigga and the Gillimino Beavers.
The what?
The Gillimino Beavers. That was his band.
What the hell? Jesus Christ. Yeah, real bad. This is real. Jay Bigga getting interviewed with no shirt. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, what's up? I'm Jay Bigga, and you're watching the official Gillimino Beavers podcast on jbigga.com.
I hate that he beat us to the podcast game. I hate that Jay Bigga had a podcast before us.
Last year, my band was invited to make a jingle for X1075 in Las Vegas. It's a 100,000 watt station, so we were all like really excited.
It's the only extreme rock microphone in existence. We're the creators of the X1075 Free Stuff song. It's a wireless, but it doubles as a vibrator. So just twist this knob.
Oh, ew.
Photograph is by far one of our top 3 songs right now. I wrote the lyrics after a party at my friend's house, and she had all these picture frames in her room. And we were laughing because almost every single one had someone cut out of the picture. Some were trimmed down to like just her face in the middle of the frame. The song Photograph is about how a picture can bring back a lot of memories, and some of them can be bad memories.
That's so real.
The ones that we got.
That's very real.
Can we find this one?
Yeah, King Kong, get on it. Find this photograph by Jay Bigga. I also kind of hate that he kind of looks like The Dare,
The Dare wishes.
Yeah.
Sure. Hey, you said it, not me.
I mean, I stood next to him at a show one time. He looked like Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20, but like his stunt double. I'm not saying that in like a nice way. Rob Thomas is a handsome guy.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I need a palate cleanser before we get into the topic of this episode.
Has this song ever been on the pod before?
We have to have listened to it. This is not Jay Bigga.
He looks like the evil Interpol puppet. Like,
It's
this is a crazy album cover. He had Fruity Loops, an incurable sex addiction, and a dream.
Yeah. Okay, I just need that as a palate cleanser, although I'm not really sure that was a palate cleanser. This just kind of hurt me more. Anyways, now that we're 23 minutes into our recording, we can now officially
what's
get
this
into
episode about?
the topic of this episode, which 2 weeks ago we did recovery, which was we did an episode ages ago. I think it was our good friend Alex Gerchmanoff, friend of the pod, sent us a post sort of a top 5 best worst covers. And Violet did her own version, and I said, "Hey, I'll do my own version." And then the Gavin emergency happened, and so I had to rush order this episode out. And I'm going to talk about 5 of my favorite covers and 5 of the worst covers I've ever heard in my entire life. And this is a very different episode, I would say, to the one that Violet presented. I think Violet had a lot of classic songs, and a lot of my favorite covers are a little more like contemporary covers, you know. And then the worst ones are also pretty contemporary too. Although these first 2 are a bit older, so let's get into it. This one was a life changer for me. If we ever fucking do this Tony Hawk podcast series, which has been like, it's just been in the back of our brains for a while of like, this would be a great podcast series if we ever get around to it. Maybe one day we'll do Tony Hawk's Pod Skater. But I discovered the song on the soundtrack for Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, and did not realize this was a cover, of course, when I was a child, because I was a child. And then in my old age, figured out, oh, hey, this is a cover, and it's a great one. It's Institutionalized by Census Fail, originally by Suicidal Tendencies.
If they came out today, they'd have to be called Unalive Tendencies, by the way.
God damn it.
Self-unalive tendencies. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the second Matty put this on the playlist and I saw it, I immediately got mad because I did not think to put anything from the American Wasteland soundtrack on my episode. And honestly, if I had to pick one, there are covers on there that I really love. You know, MCR doing the Misfits. You know, a lot of heaters, a lot of bangers. Fall Out Boy doing Gorilla Biscuits. You know, but the fucking numero uno number 1. This is it. I mean, it's Census Fail, and they're doing maybe my favorite thrash song of all time. But
It'd be up there for me. It might be the number 1.
Yeah, I think that this is kind of like the ideal cover on that playlist, or like on that soundtrack. Done like pretty straightforward, not like, you know, too far from the source material, but still like fun and updated enough. Yeah, I don't know. I love that game so much that
yeah.
I mean, really all of the Tony Hawks, and they really like changed my life from a music perspective. And I don't think I'm alone in that, but like so much good music got exposed to me via all of the Tony Hawks, and like this is, I knew that this was a cover, but like I didn't love it when I was a kid, and now that I'm older, I'm like, okay, I like this like quite a bit in terms of the covers that are on that game.
When I was a kid, though, I will say, and not faulting the song, because this is a banger fucking cover. I mean, they just kind of up the modern production, make it a little less thrashy, kind of 80s metal, make it a little more, you know, modern day punk, or modern day in relative to 2005 when the game came out. But there's one issue I have with Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. Why the fuck can I not play as a girl in that game? Is it because you kissed the Cree Summer character at the end? What, you hate lesbians, Tony Hawk? Come on, let me play as a girl in that game. Yeah. You could do it in Free Skate, but you can't do it in the plot.
It's especially weird because, like, you could play as a female character in Tony Hawk's Underground and Underground 2. You know, nothing was... And, like, they factor that into the story.
Play as a woman in Tony Hawk games from, like, 3 on.
Yeah.
I really think it's just because they put a love interest in it.
They're too scared to have
You're
a lesbian.
You're probably right.
Also, because fucking Mindy, I mean, come on, that's the most bisexual woman has ever looked. Like,
I know, that is... That woman radiates just bi energy, but I really am frustrated that I was not able to be a girl because I had the same character from Tony Hawk to Tony Hawk Underground 2, and I could not bring Lizzie Smith into American Wasteland, and for that, Tony Hawk, you will pay, white boy.
Although Underground American Wasteland is a new character. It's not the same character from.
Well, yeah.
But even then, they could have added a girl character. It wouldn't have changed too much about the plot. You know, maybe like there's been mods where you can have a girl character, but
Yes. Matty, what's your least favorite character, or not character, area in American Wasteland?
ooh, that's a good question. I'm trying to think of like what is like the least fun.
I have one. I have one that I despised as a kid.
I mean, the oil rig is kind of rough.
I fucking
Yeah.
hated the oil rig. I love the pier. Grinding on that roller coaster, come on. It was always awesome until the fucking coaster itself like hit you and you'd fall off.
Yeah.
But I hated the oil rig because my little ass was like, "Ooh, I'm an environmentalist. I don't want to be a part of this oil rig with these capitalist dogs, you know." But I really like most of the areas except that, because it's all very fun LA until you get out in the middle of the ocean and you're on this filthy ass fucking rig. But whatever, it's a good game.
Yeah, it's just because there's also some of the missions aren't great. There's some of the like the tougher missions in that one too. The design is not. It's not great because, of course, it's also not even an original like map for that game. It's literally just a redone version of the oil rig map from Pro Skater 3 that was exclusive to the Xbox. So,
okay.
Yeah, so
I was like, I don't remember this at all. In like running through Tony Hawk levels in my brain, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? But,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything memorable compared to everything else. Ooh, my ass was manualing down the Hollywood Walk of Fame and, you know, doing all that fun stuff. But the worst fucking mission in that game is where you just have to button mash to pull off a piece of a roof.
That one sucks. I mean, the water balloon fucking one really, like that one fucking sucks.
That one sucks.
There's a water balloon one. There's the one where you have to like do like a bank drop on a specific. You go off a ramp and you have to like hit a specific like flip trick or something, and the game is the way it's set up is really weird. Where like you're just gonna miss it until you get really lucky and hit it. Like I love American Wasteland, but there's definitely some like really janky missions in there that were not in Underground 1 or 2.
So what I'm learning here is we need to start Pod Skater, because we've basically already started it on this episode.
In it, so we already need to talk about the song itself, which of course the the original Institutionalized is a great song, and Jay, you're completely correct. It takes what works about the original song and just kind of makes some slight tweaks and updates that makes it, you know, a census fail song at the end of the day, you know, like and obviously of course it means a lot to me as the Pepsi Phantom, you know.
Yes.
All I wanted was a Pepsi, just one Pepsi, and she wouldn't give it to me. Brother, as a 9, let's see, when did that game come out and when did I start playing? As an 8 or 9-year-old, brother, I just wanted a Pepsi and she wouldn't give me a Pepsi. I relate to that. And now, of course, you know, you relate to a little more of the song. And also, of course, I love the ending line here. Oh wait, hang on. We actually probably missed it. It doesn't matter. I'll probably get hit by a car anyways. Great. That's again perfect. Like for a very like nihilistic song. Like that's just such a nice little like nihilistic capper. You know, of like it doesn't matter. Like none of this shit matters. I'll get hit by a car. Whatever. All this will be for naught. Great. Love it.
Yeah. Extremely like first wave of hardcore. What's her name? Penelope Spheris. The like decline of Western civilization.
Yes.
And the Suburbs? Was that the name of the movie? It's got Flea in it. I want to say it's Suburbia. That's the one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not the Burbs. I know that.
No, not the Tom Hanks one.
Suburbia's. Yes. But like same kind of just nihilistic energy. I don't know. I'm looking at the soundtrack and I was like, okay, I didn't like that Fall Out Boy made Start Today sound too pop punk.
Yeah.
Even though, like, when you go back and listen to the Gorilla Biscuits records, you're like, yeah, these are pop punk songs. But they're, like, because they are done by teenagers who are less than professional, they do not sound like big, fat pop punk songs. That's kind of what Fall Out Boy bring to the table. I forgot that Rise Against did Fix Me by Black Flag.
Oh, I forgot that too.
Not my favorite, like, vocal rendition.
Yeah.
Much respect to Rise Against, I guess. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm
They
gonna have to
seem
go back and
okay,
listen.
but also Hero of War is still very embarrassing to me.
It's troop rock for real.
Oh,
like,
Taking Back Sunday did Suburban Home and I Like Food.
I remember that very distinctly. I think that's the one I probably liked the most when I was very young.
Jesus.
But I was a big Descendants kid.
Dropkick Murphys doing Who Is Who. That's probably my least favorite, just because I don't like the Dropkick Murphys.
Yeah, there's.
Oh
I loved that Thursday cover of
Yeah,
Ever
that
Fallen
one
in Love.
that one
Yeah.
could have been on this playlist. That's a great cover.
I mean,
That is a great one.
Alkaline Trio doing a TSOL cover is very Violet coded, just because I was a big TSOL head, and then of course Armageddon kind of destroyed me and Gavin's minds as children.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, this
I
soundtrack
love
slays.
Alkaline Trio so much.
Mhm.
So I mean, well, like up to a point, you know.
Yeah.
I think like
I
I'm
mean,
a reasonable adult. I'm not one of those. But yeah, like first few Alkaline Trio records, I'll stand by all day. But
Mhm.
God,
Mm-hmm.
Astro
I would
Zombies.
say Astro Zombies
that's
is also really fucking good.
Mhm.
I saw fucking Gaslight Anthem cover that, and it was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. It was a really, really bad Gaslight Anthem show already. And then they covered Astro Zombies, and it was like the fastest they played for the entire night. And I was like, this fucking sucks. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, it's over, man.
Sometimes I wonder if Danzig has ever listened to the MCR Astro Zombies and what he would have to say about it.
He is more than happy to have just like gotten all of the money in the
Yes,
world.
I mean, well, that describes
everything.
Danzig to a T.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of really good covers on the soundtrack. Again, very good soundtrack overall. But yeah, that again really a lot of sick covers on there. But what is not a sick cover is our next song, which is
It Is Happening Again.
So I think
this was insane.
Yeah, this one's nuts. So I think I discovered this rereading the alternative number ones column on Stereogum, which of course Nia's our number ones. That's a great series we did. I still love that series so much, and it's been great to kind of revisit some of those songs and see what Tom has to say about them. And he talked about Soul to Squeeze by Red Hot Chili Peppers, which of course was famously for some reason in the soundtrack of the Coneheads movie, and also on the soundtrack of the Coneheads movie is Barenaked Ladies doing a cover of Fight the Power by Public Enemy. Somehow we have discovered a second white ass band doing a Public Enemy cover. What was up with white people during this time?
Why did we allow?
What was the original one that you guys? I might have missed the.
Duran doing 911 is a joke.
Oh, that is not good.
Yeah, you're correct.
Why is it? It's always like beyond just like white bands doing Public Enemy songs. Why is it always like foreigners popping in on the American politics of
Oh my god, that's
Enemy.
right. They're Canadian, aren't they?
Yeah,
very
they are.
Canadian.
The fact that I listened to this twice and like have scrabbled it twice is
look, you can delete those scrabbles. You can delete those scrabbles.
No, that's cheating. That's hiding your past, and I don't believe in that. But
you believe in transparency.
I believe in full transparency to let people know that I listened to the Barenaked Ladies covering Fight the Power twice in 2025 because I'm a masochist above everything else, apparently.
My stomach hurts. My stomach fucking hurts, dude. I would like to rectify an issue that or a mistake that I said in our previous recovery episode, and that I referred to Duran Duran's cover of 911 is a joke as a complete disgrace to Chuck D's lyrics. I actually found out recently that Flavor Flav wrote that entire song, so I would like to rectify that it was a mockery of Flavor Flav's lyrics. But I believe that this is a complete butchery of Chuck D's lyrics. So we're an egalitarian podcast, if not anything.
Again, this is transparency above all else.
Yes. I've been watching a lot of Flavor of Love as of recent, and it's pretty obvious to do anything for money, and I assume that's where these came from. But Barenaked Ladies is a band I know nothing about outside of 1 week and the one song we listened to on White Boy Heaters and made Barely Mark so mad he started threatening to kill Matty. But this does not inspire.
What song? Wait, what song was that?
Was it Pinch Me?
It was Pinch Me, yeah, it was Pinch Me.
Oh, fuck. I was ready for it to be Brian Wilson, and I would have gone to war with you on Brian Wilson, but Pinch Me, that's gnarly.
Look, that was one that I put on there because I loved that song when I was a kid, and then going back to re-listen to it, I'm like, oh, this has like a good hook, and that's it. Otherwise, this is God. I hate this. I fucking hate this.
The second verse with the. Oh, go ahead, Violet.
I was just gonna say, Matty, which one do you think is worse? Because that is a hard. That's a hard choice
like,
for me.
You have to go in relativity. You have to just go. You have to stoop to the level of those songs and figure out the small differences. As a song, this is. I think at the end of the day, it's like, do I think that Fight the Power is a better song than 911 is a joke? The answer is yes. Those are both very good songs. Of course, the originals, but this is like, it is absolutely misguided and fucking weird that they're covering this. But like, I see the vision. I like it literally be like if Barenaked Ladies were just like, if they just did this as an instrumental and then just had Chuck D and Flavor Flav come in and do their parts, this would actually be a pretty cool rendition. Like, I'd be like, this is a pretty cool rendition of the song, like taking it and turning it, sort of like having like turning into like a live instrumental track. That's pretty cool. I like this. That's the thing I have to admit with this is that instrumentally, it's kind of cool. I kind of like the way they reinterpret the song and for as a live band. But the problem is that the members of Barenaked Ladies should not be the ones rapping on the song. That is wrong. That is weird. That is racist. I'll just say it. It's fucking racist as fuck. Why are you singing this stuff? Like, it's fucking weird. The 90s were a really bad time. 90s were a great time, but they were a fucking weird and bad time.
I think you might have convinced me because at the end of the day, the instrumental on this is not what pisses me off. It is the fact that it is these pasty white Canadians taking politically charged music directed for Black Americans, but that 911 is a joke cover is genuinely the way they like tried to make it charming and posh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any salvaging that. I think this definitely. I can't believe I'm saying this is not the worst cover that we're going to be talking about tonight, but it is not the. It's the maybe the most offensive personally to me.
Yeah.
But on the level of quality, I mean, I'm looking at a song that's a few down, and I'm seeing red is what I will say.
Yeah, and we're not talking
offensive to like all good taste. Oh yeah,
yes.
Go ahead, sorry.
She's seeing red, and she ain't talking about unwritten law. Like,
God damn it, yeah.
Yeah, and I have the original album cover of Gordon by Barenaked Ladies pulled up, so you can see who all made this song. These pasty ass white boys. Although one of them, I can't tell if that's a white boy with dreads or just like really curly, like a Jerry curl. Can't really tell.
That is, we've got Nardwar, Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC,
yes.
Adam Duritz from Counting Crows, somebody, and then me from like 20, I don't know, like high school down bottom center. Yeah, that is exactly what I looked like until I don't know. 18.
That's by the way, that was the cocaine addict. By the way, this is the cocaine addict.
I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've got young Sheldon, Drew Carey, Adam Duritz, a golf caddy, and the missing hybrid of every Korn member. But yeah, this looks like if they tried to make a Village People where all of their gimmicks was they worked IT. I don't like this picture at all.
It's one of the worst. It's a really upsetting album cover. I really do hate looking at it, but I can't look away.
That dude did so much blow that they kicked him out of the band.
That's
that they were like, and he was like, "I don't need you guys. I'll start my own solo thing that isn't going to go anywhere. Can I be back in Barenaked Ladies now? I've gotten done with doing blow. Actually,
I don't even think they let him back in. I think he's still not in the band.
Fuck him.
Yeah,
that's what's up. I do find like the one real off-putting thing about the not the one, because there are 5 million off-putting things about that cover.
Yes,
but the joking about Buddy Hackett and Buddy Rich and Nutty Buddy in the part where they're like, you know, Elvis was a hero to most, but he didn't mean shit to me.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, let's put in some funny little references to other guys, you know? Let's put in Buddy Rich. And then they also don't have the balls to say motherfuck him and John Wayne.
Yeah.
Which, come on, guys.
If you're going to do the song, do the fucking song.
Right, exactly. Like, just do the thing. I know they said, like, they called the Nutty Buddy ice cream bar racist. David Duke, him and John Wayne. Like, I get it, but just say fuck Nutty Buddy.
Yeah,
like, say it with your chest, bro. Get real about it.
But they're Canadians. They don't want to swear. They don't want to swear. Also, by the way, I've found a website where I could buy a Barenaked Ladies Gordon Platinum LP limited signature edition custom frame. So for the low cost of $279.99, but I can do 4 interest-free payments of $70 with Sezzle.
Can we make a new Patreon level, just called the BNL level, where if someone gives you $280, you will buy this and then film yourself smashing it with a hammer and send it specifically to the person that paid for it?
I would absolutely happily
we cannot let this stay in our reality. It's like Laura's ring in Twin Peaks. It has to go.
Yeah. We could I was gonna say we could buy the frame itself. There's cheaper options, but you know. Yeah.
Can you check real quick for me to see if they have Supernatural by Santana on there?
Let's see. Santana. Let's see what we got. We have Santa.
Santa Claus.
Hey, I know
Santa
someone
Claus.
that's been writing songs about her or songs about Santa in June.
Santa is her.
Let's see. We have Santana. We have La Bamba, Woodstock '69. Nothing from that record, but there is some Santana stuff here.
I really need the smooth platinum record, or I want that in the crib. I want people to ask me why do you have that? And just say, well, it exists.
Yeah.
You know?
Again, that's capitalism. That's the best parts of capitalism.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see.
I just start lying and saying Rob Thomas was my uncle and he gave it to me.
Yeah, my uncle Rob Thomas. My uncle mixed smooth. It's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's a lot of cool. Looks like there's a lot of cool things you can buy on this website.
Spring Breakers.
The script, limited signature edition. There we go. You want some?
Fuck yeah!
Ooh, Half-Life 2 mini poster that's signed. All right, they have some cool stuff
Smurfette,
here.
trimmers, a lot of good shit.
Rare Tea. I think that's the website. Rare Tea. So check that out instead of checking out Fight the Power by Barenaked Ladies. So let's get to a good one. Let's go back to we're going to see the light. We're going to see the light as we have a cover of She's Actin' Single, I'm Drinking Double by Gary Stewart. Cover is by Wednesday. Violet, as Violet, you know, a lot of her favorite covers were more like classic songs, and I wanted to sort of contrast that with a little more contemporary stuff on this playlist. As this cover by Wednesday from their 2022 covers record, Mo and the Lease, instead of piling them up, has a lot of really amazing covers on this record. Obviously, there's the Hotline TNT cover, the Woman Without Whiskey cover, the Smashing Pumpkins cover by MJ. But this is the one. On this album for me, this is the best one. And it's She's Actin' Single, I'm Drinking Double. One of the greatest songs about drinking ever made, in my opinion. And I think, again, a real platonic ideal of a cover, right? Of understanding the fundamentals of the song, but also changing up enough of it where like, hey, this is this kind of becomes your own song, like this sounds, again, they were able to Wednesdayify it in a way that sounds really amazing, and like it keeps the emotion of the original, but just adds some extra layers to it. It's great. I love it.
This is actually one, Matty, that I had never heard the original to, and I grew up. You know me. I grew up in Texas, and the music I grew up with was basically exclusively the Texas classic rock and alternative rock stations, and they basically played nothing but the Toadies and Tequila Makes Your Clothes Fall Off by Joe Nichols, But this is sick. I have never been a Wednesday person, I've never really listened to them. This is a pretty good intro, though. I kind of like the genre mishmash going on. It's got very good vibes that I am very much so into. So I think you've got me interested in this band, and for that I thank you, Matty Monroe.
You are welcome. It's a good again. That's the thing. This was not. It's not a super well known song. I think outside of certain circles. I'm getting so
fucking mad looking at what's next.
I know. I'm real sorry about what's next, listeners. Because it's like, hey, white people doing rap songs. Did you like it the first time? You're gonna love it the second time, maybe.
I love this chorus.
This chorus is great. Like the original chorus is a little, obviously, like it's still like kind of not like the most fast paced chorus, but it doesn't slow things down like it does on this. Like it turns sort of like a kind of more not triumph, I guess almost triumphant sounding in a way, like just that it takes it up that notch in the original, and this turns into like shoot it sort of slow Corey shoegazy, like really slows it down a little bit, which could be a move that would not work at all, but like pulls it off.
I'm about to say something that is going to sound insane, but I'm going to need you to bear with me, Matty.
Okay.
I think I like this because it kind of reminds me of If It Makes You Happy by Sheryl Crow.
No, you're spot on with that.
That's a good comparison. That's a real good comparison. And it sucks
really
because it sucks too, because I think if I were to make this playlist like 2 years ago, there would have been a cover of that song that I would have probably put on here as a great cover song that I cannot put on here because it's an artist that I do not want to talk about.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll reveal after. If you're listening, you kind of it's a Sheryl Crow cover from an artist I can't talk about. You probably know, but I don't want to talk about that artist. I want to talk about Wednesday because this cover is great, and Carly is cool, and I'm very, very excited for the next Wednesday album because it's probably getting announced on Wednesday. So very excited what that band is up next. But obviously, there's so much. I mean, obviously, like the guitars sound amazing. Carly and MJ going fucking nuts, with those guitars. It's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. It's great. It understands which. If you've not heard the original, I usually don't want to throw on the originals when we do these episodes, but this one I kind of want to put on because I think the contrast here is pretty stark. Like you listen, you're like, what the hell? How do you turn this into a shoegaze song?
To put it lightly, Wednesday understood the assignment on that cover.
Yes.
Like they did exactly like what Wednesday should do on a cover. And like honestly, to be fair to that whole covers record, like they do it all over that record, right? Yeah. Like they lend their voice extremely well to all of those songs. Even Had to Try by Hotline TNT, which is I think like, contemporary covers I think can be like really hit or miss, but they hit the shit out of that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a big sucker for like, shitty bar country, like this Neon Moon by Brooks and Dunn. Like,
oh, come on now.
Yeah, I mean, anything that's like in this lane of I'm sad and I'm drinking and I'm singing a song about it, like sign me up. And I thought
you're gonna
Wednesday
like an
crushed
episode
that.
of this podcast that's about to come out in a couple weeks.
I'm so ready for it.
Also, I can't believe I didn't say it. I mean, of course, this is a great drinking song, but really, it's probably the greatest song ever made about getting cucked, right? Like,
Nookie?
Nookie
that is true. Yeah, that's tough.
Inside you, there are two cucks.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna call it a tie. I think we got to call it a tie. Like, I think those are two great songs about getting cucked, but two different feelings about it. You know,
every corner of the mind got a cuck chair. You know, and that's what art's about, is finding someone to sit in it.
Your genre cannot be considered art until it has an official cuck chair.
That's real. That's real.
Mm. But yeah, good song, good cover.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and also actually let me mention one more good song before we get into something that's really bad. On the original draft of this playlist, it sucked to cut it, but you talked about a contemporary cover, great version. MJ Linderman put out a great cover of "This Is Lorelei's I'm All Fucked Up." That song is amazing, and the MJ cover is really good. But I was like, it might be a little, like, it just came out, like, it's a great cover. I think everyone should listen to it. But I'm like, Dancing in the Club, not I'm All Fucked Up. Dancing in the Club is the MJ, is the song that MJ covered. It's great. Listen to it. But I was like, okay, it's gonna be a little too early. It's a little too early. Just came out. Maybe down the line. Yeah, I don't want to hype it up too early, but it is great. It's really fantastic. And I do want to give it a shout out before we move into our next song, which is Say Anything's cover of ODB's I Got Your Money from the compilation album Punk Goes Crunk.
A CD I bought on release day. Because I was 17.
That's fucked
I was
up.
17 once.
Yeah.
Clearly. Yeah. I don't know if I probably told it because I was on like one of the Bloghouse things, but when I was doing a Bloghouse party in New York City, I played this like near the end of the night, and it, like, I looked down for 2 seconds, looked back up, and the entire floor had cleared out. The venue, everybody left.
Yep. Fair.
It was, I was like, all right, cool, like, sick. Now that everybody's gone, we don't have to keep playing music and I can get paid and go home. But like, it is one of those off-putting songs that is so bad that like it has room like clearing abilities.
This is like Spose or like Watsky. But I Say Anything is like a bottom 3 band of all time for me. When I first started dating my boyfriend, he put on a Say Anything song called I Hate Everyone that may genuinely be the worst song I've ever heard in my entire fucking life, but this is gross to me. This is LCD sound system for young people that say Sigma. This is pervert music. This is nasty. This entire genre of music, I think it died with Asher Roth. But
it's so funny that you like bring this up, because in my head, so these are things that like I was listening to at the same time and loving. But like,
I mean, I Love College is the best song ever fucking written, and
right. But like, these are things that I was like, oh, these are opposite ends of my taste level. But you're absolutely right that like, yeah, no, this is the same shit. This entire record was like a really misguided attempt at doing something. I was gonna say doing something good, and it was not.
Do you think that Punk Goes Crunk could be used to teach cultural appropriation?
I would love to teach a college course about the Punk Goes Crunk record that starts with a Set Your Goals cover of Lil Jon and the East Side Boys' Throw Your Hood Up, where they do not say the N-word and instead say Jedi, and then the second verse is entirely done in a really bad Yoda impression.
Oh, I thought for a second you were going to say
what
Jar
the
Jar. I thought you were going to say Jar Jar Binks, and that would have been really racist.
What the heck?
No, like, it's one of those things that, like, I'm saying it out loud and I realize how insane it sounds, but, you know, it was just like LOL random in 2008. That's just where we were.
Why does he sound like Justin Timberlake? What is going on?
He's in his Lace Me Up era.
He really is.
He is.
He
did go lace me up mode.
I'm so serious. I think Jay Bigo would be doing a better cover of this than Say Anything.
It'd be more.
Well, he would approach it with respect.
I wouldn't say respect, but I think it would have been like.
It would have been funnier.
It would have been more amateur. It would have made more interesting choices. Although this does make fascinating choices, of course, at the end of the day. But really, it's just like, oh wow, this Max Bemis guy. Wow, he really seems like an asshole. I hope he doesn't say anything weird about women ever in his entire life, in his own records.
Okay. Speaking of Max Bemis saying weird things, so it's 2017 or 18. I'm at Riot Fest in Chicago to see Jawbreaker reunite, and that same day, Minus the Bear and Say Anything played like back to back on a stage, and I was just like basically sitting around because there was nobody else better during Say Anything. My friend had given me an edible that she had snuck in her shoe. It was a homemade edible, so we didn't know like the dosage or anything. And the shit kicked in like halfway through the Say Anything set. And Say Anything have a song. Well, like they have a lot of songs about like Max Bemis' Jewish heritage and all that. And that's, you know, that's fine. I think that's cool. I think that's like, I was going to say valuable. I don't really know how I feel about it this far removed, but like I am now cresting like a pretty serious high, and the whole bottom drops out, and I hear Max Bemis yell into a microphone, "All the Jews in the audience, raise your hands." And I'm like, what's about to happen? Like, I just get really scared. And like all of the Jewish women in the audience, raise your hands. And I was like, what is going on? I can't be here.
Actual nightmare scenario.
100%. And then they played a song called Shiksa about like Jewish girlfriends or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes more sense as to why you were trying to get all of the Jews in the audience to identify themselves, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just like absolute nightmare scenario of like what could happen at a Say Anything show.
Mm-hmm.
What? He's a weird guy.
Yeah, very weird. I mean, let's take a look at the track list for their most recent record. Let's see.
Okay. I'm seeing.
Yep. There's a song called "On Come." That the track before it is "Be Children," and then the next song is called "On Come." Auto harmonic asphyxiation, I vibrator.
That's wild.
Psyche, which is that's normal. Carrie and Lowell and Cody pendant. Okay. Say Anything collectively made love to your God. And there's a song called Fan Fiction in Woman Song. So I don't like
I
any
Vibrator
of that.
Is the This Jew Is Finna Vibrate song. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I know that's mentioned. Let's listen to I Vibrator real quick.
You don't have to do this.
No, we can. We have to. You know, I feel like I just need to hear the delivery of This Jew Finna Vibrate.
I don't know if you do, man.
This is the Indieheads podcast, Jay. We have to know these things.
Yeah, I know.
Why does this sound like Sleep Token? That's my first thought.
This is Sleep Token.
This is Sleep Token. Yeah, this is real.
Okay, do we need to listen to the I feel like I want to hear the line, but also
I've had
I don't.
enough.
I've
had enough.
Or I can listen to it on my own
Yeah.
time. Yeah,
You don't need that.
Max.
You don't need that negativity in your life.
Does he? Does he have allegations? I feel like if he had allegations,
No,
we
but
would know.
he did. He does not have allegations in the traditional sense. What he does have is like Pine Grove levels of telling on yourself in a really weird way. Actually, like way weirder than the Pine Grove guy telling on himself. Because Max Bemis wrote an entire record about a guy that he had a crush on. And like, it's
by King Max Bemis.
No. So that's the even like more fucked up thing, is that the record is about like 100% having a crush on this guy romantically, and then like the character that is supposed to be Max Bemis kills the guy he has a crush on in the record.
It's just like Ben and Arthur.
I don't know what that is, but
it's an infamous so bad it's
cinematic
good movie.
Masterpiece.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Look it up on your own time. It's not exactly that, but like it's pretty close. It's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, yeah, no. Max Bemis like wrote this whole essay about how he was in love with this guy, but then he's like, but I'm gonna kill him. And it's like, it's one of those things where you have to look at it and say, did this guy just like actually release this as a press release? And he sure did. That's the thing, is that he did. And the people around him let him do it.
The thing with Max Bemis is the fact that he's like, oh yeah, I've like been in writing sessions with Kanye West. That is like not even in the top 5 weirdest fucking things this guy has ever done. Like that's like, oh okay. Like he's probably
2
lying.
peas in a fucking pod of people who like just have never been told no.
Yeah.
And hey, maybe you shouldn't do this. And then they do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if Red Letter Media did something about Ben and Arthur, then I'll watch it for sure.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's
so
yeah,
good.
Right.
It's a fun time. But let's move into our next song. Let's get back to a good one here. And this is a weird one. I debated on cutting this one, not because it's bad. I think it's actually like super good, but it is partially a cover. It's partially something different. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll skirt the rules a little bit because I get an opportunity to talk about Dean Blunt on a podcast episode. I get to make more people listen to Dean Blunt, and I'm always happy to do that when I have the opportunity, which I rarely get on this podcast. So this is A_X by Dean Blunt featuring TYSON. This is a cover of this is partially a cover of Love Like Anthrax by Gang of Four, and he turns this like very neurotic, weird post-punk song that sounds more like The Murder Mystery by the Velvet Underground and turns it into like a fucking R&B jam. Like, and it fucking rocks.
Yeah, I liked this a lot. It was a really good contemporary cover interpolation of, you know, I love Gang of Four, but I thought this was a cool way to go about it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to do a cover of something and really commit to changing it, I would prefer it be like this, you know?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, who else would think to turn fucking Love Like Anthrax into this? And it's only one guy, and it's Dean Blunt. Also, you hear that tasty guitar lick, that tasty sample, that of course comes from an old friend of ours. It's a Genesis sample. Our old friend Peter Gabriel.
Peter.
It is Gabe.
It is a brief guitar sample from, let me see what Genesis song it is. It's from the 73 album. Yeah, it's from Dancing with the Moonlit Night. There's a little segment here. There's a little bit of that guitar lick and turns into an entire song.
Maddie's sample snitching in 2025. I'm calling the fuck.
Yeah, I'm not the first one to say it. Do not.
No, I'm
also Dean Blunt, like the king of the uncleared sample. You know, like he not only that does not, again, like that's why I love Dean as a producer, is that he's someone that like has very unique like choices of what to sample, and the way he flips a sample is really unique compared to like anyone else. That like you give that sample to somebody else, they're not going to flip it the way that Dean does. But like his picks are simultaneously like, oh, how did no one think of that? But also like pulling from like really strange sources, but also like picking like an obvious one too. Like you're like, well, yeah, like it is like it's deceptively simple. The sampling he does on his records, and just he's able to find perfect loops and all this stuff. And yeah, also the TYSON performance here on the hook is really good. Again, he gets it. He just gets it, guys. I don't know how else to explain it. He gets it. He knows like, hey, if it's just me on this, it's not gonna work. I gotta, like, if I'm gonna commit to this being more of an R&B kind of thing, I gotta like really add that extra layer, and that is, getting the girl to do the R&B hook on it. It's great. It's amazing. I love it. This entire record, Soul on Fire.
Speaking of R&B,
okay, yeah, let's just get right into it.
hold on before we get into it, Matty. I have something to say.
Okay.
I would like to apologize to Gary Jules and Callum Scott. Your versions of Dancing on My Own and Mad World are still both basically tied for my least favorite cover song of all time, because you are in my least favorite type of cover of all time, which is, of course, the sad piano version of a song that is supposed to be energetic. That being said, I feel bad about being very mean to you the last time I was on this podcast, because it can get worse. I genuinely think that Matty has found the worst cover of all time. Something that makes me actually mad to listen to. And it's not you guys. I'm sorry. It's this.
Yes. This is a song that in 2020 it might have haunted you, and you haven't heard it since. Well, folks, let me remind you, this is Ritt Momney with his cover of Corinne Bailey Rae's "Put Your Records On." That's the thing.
Who the fuck is this guy? Why did this guy decide? Yeah, I'm Ritt Momney. What is where is he from? What's his deal? Why does he have 1.6 million monthly listeners?
The crazy thing too, Jay, is that this song has 633 million streams.
No, wait, what?
And he only has 1.6 million monthlies. Yeah.
No, I ported this over to fucking Apple Music, so I didn't see any of that. Yo,
of course.
Okay.
Ray, again, second line in the bio, Ray's Mormon in Salt Lake City.
All right.
So you're wondering, hey, what's with the name? Why is he...
What's his fucking
Mormon.
Problem?
Mormon.
Yeah, I hope this guy dies for real.
He's not practicing anymore. But even then, I don't disagree.
Regardless,
I hate everything about Ritt Momney. I hate the purposeful misspelling of Benedict Cumberbatch as stage name. I hate his stupid sixth member of No Lonely Hearts face. I hate his stupid fashion. This is the Gen Z equivalent of a Michael Bublé to me. As someone who thinks they have swag, but they are sauceless. This is Spotify with ads background noise, I could not imagine going out of your way to listen to this fucking end credits of Steven Universe ass bullshit, especially considering Corinne Bailey Rae is not, a white woman, but if she was queen of white girl heaters, that is such an important song.
I feel like
Records On is a classic.
Yeah.
Genuinely a classic song, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's in the top 3 of adult contemporary of the era. Like, me and Matty, we talk about that shit all the time.
Yeah.
And I think we both have a mutual love of that song, but...
Yeah, great
song.
song.
Are we rocking with Bubbly by Kobe Calais as
much?
much?
We're rocking with Bubbly. Okay. We rock with Bub.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
When I go to the bar, I'm saying, hey, can I get a little bit of the Bubbly? And I'm talking about Kobe Calais. I'm not talking about that champagne, although I will take some of that champagne. This is bad. It is everything. Like, this is. I mean, for me, we're literally going to talk about an artist that was in this group later on, But I listen to this and I'm like, this is Brockhampton is the blame for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brockhampton is the blame. Like, this is what happens when you have this initial this initial indie generation that's growing up on like Mac DeMarco, right? And then they discover Brockhampton and like Flower Boy and shit, and they go, well, I can do that.
This is just like,
And they can.
this is what vibes have done to a generation.
Yes.
Yes.
And bro, you are not a vibe. You're Ritt Momney.
Yeah.
You're not a vibe.
I just don't get how this becomes music that people pursue to listen to. This exists to play on grocery store playlists and advertisements for iPhones, and
Exactly.
the fact that it has that many streams is baffling to me. I mean, people were critical of adult contemporary at the time. You know, they had similar criticism, but those songs were earnest. There's nothing earnest about this. And I ain't just talking about the one that goes to camp, you know. But
Real.
I really think this sucks. On a complete, it's like finding another layer of hell to me. Going from the Callum Scott Dancing on My Own, and thinking the most embarrassing thing I would be listening to for this podcast was his Maroon 5 cover band. But here I am listening to basically like the worst of ex-ambassadors and Glass Animals put together in this singular white boy who is butchering a song I love. And for that, I mean, to me, this is the worst cover we talked about so far in any of the episodes. Like, this is the bottom. And the only way we could get any worse is if we go into like intentionally joke stuff.
Yeah.
Like Jay Bigga doing a cover of Depeche Mode or something.
Which I could have put Jay Bigga's "Well, I Can Get Sexual Too" cover on here, but I think that's not a bad cover. That's actually that's actually a solid cover, all things considered. Just like you listen to this, and like here's the thing is, what I can say about all the other covers on here, aside from this one, is that you do hear the spirit of the song. So like even on "I Got Your Money" and "Fight the Power," you hear the spirit of those songs in there. Here, the spirit is dead. It has been forced out of the body. All of the soul and the bounce and the light energy of the original Play Records On, it is gone. It is corrupted. It has been made evil by this stupid ass white boy and his stupid ass name and this stupid ass cover. That, and honestly, he's a one-hit wonder because of this. And good. Like I'm glad that the only song that people know by you is your shitty ass cover of this song, and that otherwise you basically do not have a career anymore. Like he hasn't put out. He again was able to get a major label deal at some point. Put out a record in 2021 on Columbia. I don't think he's put out really anything since. He has not put out anything since 2021. It's been radio silence for him for the past 4 years. And good, do not come back. We do not want you back, Ritt Momney. Go the fuck away and never return. I'm gonna check.
Seeing that most of his listeners are from Australia makes a lot of sense. I hate him so much.
Yeah, the mustache.
Yeah.
I like that somebody said happy album incoming. Bro, there is no album.
There is no album.
It's not coming.
Dude, I can't believe we have a second Hobo Johnson has hit the music scene.
I was gonna say, he looks like Housed Johnson. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, okay.
Like,
I'm gonna be kind. He did do a benefit concert for Palestine. So I'm gonna Ritt Momney, I'm gonna forgive you I'm gonna give you some forgiveness points. You're still in the negative for me, brother. You're still in the negative, but I will give you
okay. I'll give you some points too, because your Alvin and the Chipmunks Halloween costume with your friends is actually pretty sick too.
Yeah.
That's solid, yeah.
But please change your name. Brother, it's
crazy.
It's done. Like you can move on. You're not gonna get back on a major label. You might as well just do a hard reset. No one would blame you.
It's just so crazy that something so cynical can be so big. It's like everything that was bad in Mood Machine by Liz Pelly come to life on this.
Yeah.
It's like every bad thing that happened from the algorithm has resulted in Ritt Momney, and we are paying for our crimes against ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, God. Well, let's move into a good cover, a good song. Let's take a bomb. You know, a BALM. I know when I said it on the bonus episode, I sound like I said bomb. This is not a bomb. This is a bomb. Bomb.
This record is da bomb.
It's da bomb, and then of course
It's da bomb.
Is the cover of Dreams by the the Dreams by the Cranberries, done by Japanese Breakfast. And I will say, there is another Spotify singles cover on here from that was going to be in the worst section. That was going to be Phoebe Bridgers' cover of Friday I'm in Love, which I listened to it and I was like, I think is it a good cover? No, but it's not as insultingly bad as. But it does get to that problem, right? Of like the turning this like bouncy song to like sad indie stuff, but it did it surprisingly well. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about this instead, which is again an extremely faithful rendition of Dreams. And it's just like, well, this is a real fork found in kitchen. You know, it's just like, well, yeah, of fucking course, a Japanese Breakfast did a cover of this song. Like, duh. And I've been lucky to have heard this live a couple times on the tour. I think she was this cover was a part of her set list throughout like 2017, 2018. So I'm lucky to have heard this cover a couple of times live, and it's fucking so good. It's so good.
Look, the accusation is it's an easy pick, like, oh, Japanese Breakfast doing the Cranberries, you know, but sometimes two tasty taste tasty together.
Yeah.
And in this case, you know, I think Michelle is doing an incredible vocal performance on this. You know, it's hard to you know, perform. I mean, if we were to talk about a stinker Cranberries cover, we could talk about that Bad Wolves Zombie cover. You have to have a certain.
That's pretty bad.
You have to have a certain sauce if you're gonna try to sound anywhere close to Dolores did on these original songs, and she's nailing it. You know.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this. I had never heard this before this episode, but this genuinely it's a joy. You know, I feel that my soul is being healed after Ritt Momney.
Yeah, this was a very pleasant surprise. I was rocking with this.
It's just, like I said, I said fork found in kitchen, but here's the thing. If you were to go into a kitchen and not find the fork, you would be in danger. You'd be like, oh, I've entered an alternative reality here where I'm going to just be swallowed up by the void. But you find that fork.
It's ice cream for dinner tonight if I don't find the fork in the kitchen.
Exactly. And you got to find that fork in the kitchen. And this is just, again, it makes sense. It's perfect. It's beautiful. And Michelle sounds great. And I guess that gives us maybe an opportunity to talk about the new Japanese Breakfast album, which that is, you know, the sad part, right, of the Indieheads podcast not really being a podcast about new indie music anymore. Although
I'm just thinking about that guy last time we did the covers episode that commented about no indie songs on the list, and then is going to see that this episode is filled with indie bands.
A lot of indie bands on this one.
But gonna click on this and have to sit through 40 minutes of Jay Bigga talk to get to any of this.
Yeah.
And
that's the Indieheads podcast special, baby.
That's the Indieheads podcast right there.
No, that's gatekeeping. Gatekeeping is back. We're doing it more often. Mm-hmm. And if you wanna get to the cream of the crop, you got to go through some real crap.
Look, as a great man once said,
the rule now.
As a great man once said, I like my pleasure spiked with pain, and music is my aeroplane. You know.
Oh, that's so true.
Think about it.
Remember when I dressed up like Dave Navarro for this pod?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know what I realized I didn't do. I didn't do on this episode. I didn't do it before we started recording. Okay, Sorry, Michelle. I'm gonna pause you, Michelle, so you don't have to.
I was gonna say you should do that over yeah, it's harmonized.
Okay, hang on. Let's just keep playing. All right. All right. Oh, here we go.
God, dude,
it's so good. By the way, listeners, I play since I added it to the soundboard. Usually before I record, I test the soundboard, and I usually just play that one. and it makes me laugh, and it gives me the giggles, and it just puts a big smile on my face before I start recording. You know, the worst night of Perry Farrell, and actually no, Perry's definitely had worse nights than that, but one of the worst nights that Dave Navarro has had in a while is that, and I don't care. It makes me laugh. Why does Perry sound like that? And I'm so glad that Michelle's Honor sounds like this, because this is great. This is a great cover. Love it. I was gonna say we don't really talk about new indie music anymore on this podcast, and if you would like us to talk about indie music again on this podcast, please let us know. I'm happy.
Give us money.
Yeah, give us money. I'm happy to figure out something to talk about more new indie music. When I can. It's just we have more interesting subjects to broach. I think we'll also, but I don't mean it to like that. More like the collective, like the collective consciousness of the Indieheads podcast is very splintered, of like what new stuff we're listening to and the opinions that we have on it, and just how much interest we have in talking about it on a podcast, aside from saying, hey, this is good, you should listen to this. But I will say the new Japanese Breakfast album that came out, of course, when she is Japanese Breakfast, one of our bands, of course, we are very early on the psychopop train. That was our album of the year in 2016 and one of our top 5 albums of the decade of the 2010s. And we have not talked about her new record, For Melancholy Brunettes and Sad Women. And I would, look, we need AJ Moser here. We need Jeremiah here. We need some of the OGs here to really give their thoughts on it. But my personal take on this record is that I think it's quite good. I kind of get the people saying that it's an underwhelming record. I kind of get that inherently. Like, is it the worst Japanese Breakfast album? It probably is. But here's the thing. It's still really damn good. I really like what Michelle is kind of going for on this record. I think some of the singles were really weird choices, but they work better in the context of the record. But like Honey Water and Here Is Someone and Picture Window, these are incredible songs. These are great songs. I love them. Good record, solid record. I think if you initially were underwhelmed by it, I think give it some time. Listen to it later on in the year when the expectations of kind of, you're back to a normal level. You'll probably like a lot about it. So that's my thoughts. That's my take. And I'm so fucking mad about this next one. Actually, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I could have picked a couple that are off this record, but I think I went with this one because this is the one that probably pissed me off the most, of just like, what are you doing, man? And that is Kevin Abstract's cover of Once in a Lifetime by the Talking Heads from the Stop Making Sense A24 tribute album. That is a real missed opportunity of an album. It is one of the biggest missed opportunity records that I've heard in quite some time. Of how did you fuck this up? It is a fucking Stop Making Sense tribute album. How did you fuck this up?
It's funny because people will say that things are like a swing and a miss, and this is a strike looking. This is staring at a fastball coming right down the pipe and not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
This cover is so funny. It is this sounds like, when somebody like picks a song at karaoke that they don't actually know,
yes.
but they're going to try. They're going to try.
Yeah.
That is what this cover was.
I just want to say, though, how dare y'all? Look, the thing that makes a cover interesting is recontextualization. The original Once in a Lifetime, David Byrne was asking the questions, how do you deal with the unending change of life, the fact that it once a moment is gone, you can't get it back, the fact that it goes by too fast, and you find yourself stopping and realizing that you are no longer young, and the world just goes on whether you want it to or not. And Kevin Abstract took this song and he asked the question, what if it sounded like an Adult Swim bumper to play in between Family Guy episodes? So, like, that's what you do with the cover, right?
Yeah.
That being said, this entire fucking thing sucked. Paramore Innocent, I like that Burning Down the House cover.
That's a good cover. That's a good one.
Everything else, poop. Poop, I will say. Poopy, doo-doo, whatever.
Like, here's how bad this cover album is, right? The fact that Tizo Touchdown, of all people, TYSON Touchdown had one of the best and most faithful covers on the album.
Yeah.
Is like how that doesn't compute. How the hell does TYSON Touchdown go? How does TYSON Touchdown listen to Making Flippy Floppy and be like, well, that's a great song. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do the song.
I do think this is the worst one though.
Oh yeah, this is probably. I debate on switching this out with the Girlfriend Is Better cover from Girl in Red.
Oh, I mean,
just because just because I hate lesbians and I want to make fun of them on an episode.
Real, no, that's I love that song so much.
Lesbians, y'all can do better. Like, y'all can do better. Please trust me. I'm wearing a Chapel Rowan shirt right now, so please, you're talking with a ball knower to some extent. Like, Chapel Rowan is better. I'm glad that Chapel Rowan has come on the scene because, like, oh hey, I'm glad that the lesbians have good music representation finally. Because between like. For the lesbians, y'all have had some rough goes at it. You've had a really convincing.
Tracy Chapman fucking dipped from the world, and the lesbians have been struggling.
The Lilith there called it quits, and it's been you've had to really defend some mid out there, and
lesbians have had it tough since Tara died on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, basically. But
true.
But I really, that Girl in Red cover sucks. I've never heard the Take Me to the River Lord cover. I don't have any interest in that. That does Lord doing a cover of a Al Green cover is such an Ouroboros that I don't want any part of. Bad Not Good, and Nora Jones doing This Must Be the Place. Starbucks need music too. Just genuinely a complete misfire outside of giving the fun band with 80s pastiche burning down the house. It's like, of course that's gonna work. Of course Paramore's gonna work with that. But it's Miley Cyrus doing Psycho Killer, like Welcome Back Dead Pets.
Oh.
I will say Miley Cyrus is a ball knower now. Some of the people that she's got working on the new album is like, okay, what are we cooking here?
I mean,
she's known ball ever since she did that song with Mike Will Made It and Juicy J. So like, I'm not trying to hear
Miley slander.
Miley slander. That's what I'm looking for.
But yeah,
this was such a bad idea.
Like, here's like the idea. Like, hey, we're doing this re-release to Stop Making Sense. Like, you could have gotten a number of bands and artists, contemporary and not otherwise, who are influenced by Talking Heads, and have them tackle a song. And I should say for the record, because I have a lot of like, I wanted to sandwich this with like the Dean Blunt cover of like, hey, you can take a song and do a completely different take on it, and it could still be good and it could still be great. I mean, a song, honestly, maybe if I do another one of these, I'll put it on the cover rework version that Gilliban did of Why They Hide the Bodies Under My Garage. That's a fucking incredible like cover remix, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and that is a completely different take on that song. So I have nothing wrong with that inherently, but like at the end of the day, like I listened to this and I'm like, Kevin Abstract, you do not get this band. You do not get this band.
He's catching up with the words on the screen, brother. It's hard. He's like 12 beers deep. He's like he doesn't know anybody else in the room at this karaoke function. And he's like, I got to do this. Everybody knows Once in a Lifetime. And he's catching up with those words for sure.
He's sitting there like 3 Smirnoff Ices in. He's looking at the blue face paint like it's the Green Goblin mask. He's wondering if he can ever make a time machine to go back to 2017. He's wondering if anyone will laugh if he says Brockhampton is a boy band again. He's wondering if there's a gastropub out there that's still playing Boogie, and then they say, hey, you want to do this Talking Heads song? And he says, what would be a really good idea? Taking one of the most, great sing-along choruses and just completely castrating it to the point where you're just miserable.
Have you guys watched the Studio, the Seth Rogen?
No, but I've been meaning to. I've heard it's very good.
Okay, well, just like basically the idea of hearing like, oh, and we could get Kevin Abstract to do Once in a Lifetime feels like it is just coming out of the lips of the like most cynical, awful A&R ever.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, we can just do this, it'll be perfect, and then we can sell Sprite with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can put this in a Sprite commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God, it's piss. Like, okay, I think the thing that piss. Obviously, it's the chorus. The chorus is just like, why are you trying to turn the chorus into like Provider by Frank Ocean? Why is that the move you're deciding to make? Like, you're taking away like the chorus of Once in a Lifetime is a hot air balloon. It is the release of all this tension that's been building up. The fire is brewing. It is like a real like, oh, okay, this is the balloon is just like, oh, it's being let out. Like, oh, this is great. Like, oh, it feels good. It makes sense. And then for some reason on this, you have relatively faithful renditions of the verses. It sucks because it's Kevin Abstract, and I think Kevin Abstract has and always will be a fucking hack. I say this with love, Jackie, if you're listening. We've discussed this on previous episodes. Jackie tried to get me into Brockhampton really early when they were rolling out the saturation singles, and I had to very kindly be like, at a certain point, be like, I do not like this. I still have too much Odd Future related PTSD to get into this band. And that was the thank you PTSD. Thank you Odd Future PTSD for saving me from being a Brockhampton fan, because it really seems like that would have been a really bad idea. That being said, Kevin is a fucking hack. He's always been a hack. I've never got it with him, and this is just like, it is just great to see. Oh, hey, here's the again, just it's a cover of Once in a Lifetime. Just do the song. Just do a karaoke cover of it, and it'd be great. It'd be fine. Wouldn't be any issues. And then for some reason, you're like, let me try to turn this into a shitty Frank Ocean song. Why? What? When that's the thing. If don't God, that's the thing too.
I can imagine you in the studio flailing around in an oversized suit, then you're doing a Talking Heads cover wrong.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah,
again,
he's way too smooth on the mic on this.
Yeah.
Like, there's no desperation. He's not asking himself how he got there.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing a voiceover. Like,
there's no commitment. There's no commitment. At least if you're gonna do like a bad cover, like, be committed about it. And the fact that there's no commitment on here to it, it does not make a bold choice. It makes bad choices, but none of them are bold. And
on the statement that Jay made earlier about this sounding like someone that doesn't know the song at karaoke. I will say, one time I was on a cruise ship with my brother, and a guy got up on the stage and he was gonna do a Soulja Boy song called like "Looking for a Soldier Girl," but he clearly did not know the words and was drunk out of his mind, and so he stood there with the mic. And the lyrics were on the back, so we could see all the lyrics go by, and he would just kind of shuffle with his head down and just go, "Looking for a soldier girl," once every 10 seconds until the song just ended and then went off stage. And it had the exact same aura of this performance.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that's so good. One, who amongst us is not looking for a soldier girl? Two, I saw a guy do Back in Black by AC/DC.
Oh,
but
no.
like he also did not know the words to Back in Black. He just knew the riff.
Oh,
so like he would air guitar the riff and then like did not realize there were words.
That sounds like the start of an a cappella band right there.
Yeah.
That's how the Dartmouth Aries started.
Oh God!
It's he's the world champion guitar here, or air guitar guy now. Do you guys remember when that was a thing? World champion.
I do
air
remember
guitars?
that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
You can't do that anymore.
Wasn't there? Did someone do like a comedy sketch about that at some point? Maybe I'm thinking of like a Dropout bit. Yeah, it was a Dropout.
I think it was.
That was a Dropout bit about air guitaring. But yeah, bad cover. Again, you could do a whole. The A&R that was behind this album. Hey, if you're listening, hey buddy, I just want to talk, buddy. talk. Can we just there's a secluded alleyway, that we can go and talk to. There's no one's gonna bother us. We can just talk alone, man to man. There's nothing gonna bother us. You can do a full body pat down of me. You can do an ocular pat down of me. I don't have any weapons on me. Nothing. The only weapons I have are my fists, but I'm not going to use those fists. I'm going to come to you with love, and I'm going to put love into your heart. I'm going to make you better at your job. Like, just I'm gonna stab. I'm not gonna. No, I'm gonna stab you, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna stab you. I'm gonna stab you and leave you out in the middle of the fucking street. In the middle of the goddamn alleyway. No one's gonna hear your screams of pain. Because I'm gonna make sure to stab you in a spot where you can't speak. I'm gonna make sure that your screams of pain are silent. They're not gonna find your body for hours.
And an alley with Matty.
And you may
You
ask
may find yourself bleeding
How
out
did this
into the
knife
gutter.
get here?
Yeah. That's good. Actually, have you guys heard the Making Flippy Floppy cover on this?
I have not. I actually tapped out pretty early into listening to this.
That's the
I listened to I listened to the big Talking Heads hits, and Making Flippy Floppy is not like one of the big ones to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was just listening based on like my level of essentialism when it comes to Talking Heads, and I think I got to the point where I was listening to the National cover Heaven, and I was like, oh fuck this,
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. I don't want to hear the National cover anything.
This had a music video at some point. Did it get taken down? Let me see, because I feel like okay, it did have a music video at some point, but I guess it's just not online anymore. So we'll just play. Also, the fact that this is, I will say, the one thing that is working against this song is that it is nearly 6 minutes long, but I think that's just because the song is 6 minutes.
It's crazy to me how many of these people just like didn't do anything new.
Yeah, it's like, either they didn't do anything new, or like they didn't commit to doing something new.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like, I believe you when you say this is one of the better ones on the album because it is like a somewhat faithful cover, but it's kind of surprising that like you get something like this and you don't do something a little different,
Mm-hmm.
I think like that's the fun of a cover, is that you do get to do something a little different. People are expecting like the familiar but with a twist.
Yeah,
this is pretty good karaoke as opposed to Kevin Abstract, which was
yeah.
That's it's the fact that Tizo Touchdown has like one of the best and like most faithful covers on the album. It's like, oh, again, but your test, Violet. Can I imagine Tizo Touchdown in a giant suit recording this in the studio? I can, and that it passes that bar, which is honestly
congratulations Tizo, congratulations Haley Williams. Only one so far that passed the test for me.
Yeah, so that is that. We got two more, or actually two more. Yes, we have two more. So,
yes. And good news, no more bad covers on this episode.
I was gonna say, actually, no more bad.
Nope.
No more bad covers on this episode, even though this is top 5 best worst. But you'll find out why our last song is our last song. But this next one is my favorite cover song of all time. Gun in my head, what's the best cover song of all time? This would be my pick, and that, of course, is the cover of Video Killed the Radio Star by Joyce Manor. I'm glad you're here, because of course we are big Joyce Manor heads, and this is so fucking good. It is, again, we talk about, of course, being able to take a song and make it your own, but keep the spirit of the song alive, and this is that to a fucking T. It is Joyce Manor turning the bones of the song. Again, it's got the bones of Video Kill the Radio Star, but the meat is so Joyce Manor, like if it wasn't such an iconic song, you would think that this would be like an original, like it's just such a unique beautiful reinterpretation of the song that sounds so killer, and it sucks. It makes me so mad that this is not a part of their set list anymore, because like Barry does not like this album. He famously hates Of All Things I Will Soon Grow Tired, and it's like, even the fucking Video Killed the Radio Star cover, that's not even your song. You didn't write that song. How are you gonna hate that?
Matty, you son of a bitch. For years you've been telling me about this fucking band and being like, oh, yeah, you would like Joyce Manor if you listen to them, Violet. Yeah, you would like Joyce Manor. And I've been like, yeah, sure. Yeah, okay, whatever, Matty. And then you put on a cover of a proto MTV, one of my fortes, you know, and I immediately go, God damn it. Matty was fucking right all along.
Yep.
This is a fucking all-timer. This is so fucking good.
Listeners, I'm never wrong. You know this. You know I'm never wrong. Even when I'm wrong, I'm not wrong. My plans are measured in centuries. Okay, listeners, they're measured in centuries. But I'm glad it didn't take centuries for you to like this song, Violet, because it's very good and this band's great.
Literally, like before we started this episode, the episode was rearranged a little different. This was earlier on. I think, was it the first song on the episode?
It was the first song initially, but I realized going off of your structure, I should probably put my favorite one in the back.
Yes, but I put this on and immediately I was like, okay, Video Killed the Radio Star. We know it. We know this song. We love this song. We talked about it on MTV days before the MTV craze. But the second I put this on and I heard those tasty ass riffs and those nasty ass drums, I immediately was like, damn it, Matty is sucking the irony and the cynicism out of my brain, and now I just know that I got to get into Joyce Manor, because this is a fucking phenomenal cover. I usually, when it comes to this kind of stuff, I would be mad that the entire chorus is not there, but no, they make it work. They cut it down to a single line, and I think that restructuring is perfect for what they have done with this version of Video Killed the Radio Star. Like I really fucking love this. This rocks, this slaps, this grooves. It's in my top 3 of covers we talked about so far. It's up there with, Aretha's Respect is always gonna be my number one. But this is how you do a cover if you're gonna make it different, you know?
Mm-hmm. That is high honors. And
yeah, and I love the Buggles. I love Trevor Horn.
Of course.
But this is so in that area. If I go listen to a song and I can imagine Johnny Knoxville getting genital torture to it, like that's the kind of shit I rock with. Yes. And this passes with flying colors, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's such a good way to put it. I think that's one thing that I did not consider. I mean, I've always loved this song. I've loved this band since, I don't know, whenever I heard them first. But yeah, I mean, the only thing I was going to ask, Matty, I don't know how you feel about it. What do you think about the cover being the centerpiece of the record?
It is interesting. I think it obviously, this is my favorite Joyce Manor album, personally speaking. I think it really works. I think because you have these sort of first 4 songs on the record that are really downbeat and even for Joyce Manor, pretty nasty at times. These are nasty, down in the dump songs. You understand why Barry does not like this record, because it's very clear that this record comes from a pretty dark place, you know. This is the sound of a man that is not doing well, you know. But you get to Drainage, which is the super lo-fi microphones as song, and you're like, bro, what is Barry okay? Is he doing fine? Does he need a hug? And then this comes on, you're like, okay, we're gonna make it, you know, we're fine, we're gonna make it, things are all good. I think it works brilliantly as the centerpiece of this album, especially because it's such a radical reinterpretation of the song too, you know. The thing, what I love about it being the centerpiece is that sometimes you need the songs that you love to center you, you know. There's been many times in my life where I've been very much down the dumps, where I've been in a really bad spot, and 9 times out of 10 it has been music that has gotten me, you know, that has centered me, that has got me out of that dark spot. And to see it kind of represented just on an album proper like that is really, really brilliant, you know? So I think it's great. And they have a number of really good covers too. They, again, Joyce, they have a surprisingly, it's not a super deep catalog of covers, but they've got a lot of really good ones.
More than most. I will give them that. Like, yeah, Souvenir, right up at the top.
Mhm.
That was another like wild pull for me. It was like opening your cover with an orchestral maneuver in the dark song is like a crazy thing to do in terms of sequencing. And this band is already pretty crazy when it comes to sequencing their records. Like, I don't listen to this album in this order at all. I think like a few of us, when like back on Twitter, a few of us were like playing around with different track listings for this record, and like
I think Keegan had a really good one. Keegan had
a good one.
Yeah.
I think I outdid it, but that's because I'm me. And
please send me your version. I want to hear your version.
Yeah, I will. But like opening the record with an orchestral maneuvers in the dark song is like crazy to have done. I think they've covered I Saw Water by Tiger's Jaw live. I've seen them do that. They did they have a really good Murder City Devils cover. That's on I think it's on
the Big
whatever
Kids?
they call the compilation. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Big Kid split.
Yeah.
Midnight Service at the Motor Museum is like A+ stuff. I don't know. I love this band to death. Very much like a band I grew up alongside. So it's kind of cool to have seen them get as big as they did. I think like this record specifically, like you said, it's a weird, sad, it's 10 minutes long, and the second longest song on the record is a Video Killed the Radio Star cover.
Yeah.
Like, hell of a way to put out your second record and, like, you know, get past the sophomore slump, so to speak.
Yeah.
Of just, like, jamming a record out there and doing what you will with it. But, yeah, crazy idea.
Also, Violet,
I remember.
I was gonna say it's very easy to get into Joyce Manor because all their albums are so fucking short. Like it's one of the, it's super easy band to get into because it's just like, hey, all their albums are like 20 minutes long and they only have like 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah,
it's super easy.
I grew up on the Misfits. That is the best thing you could have ever told me.
Yep. What were you gonna say, Jay?
Oh, I was going to say, like, I remember when this came out, I think Video Killed the Radio Star was the single, and people were like, what the fuck is this band doing? Like, why is this happening? And then the record comes out and it's 10 minutes long, and people are like, what? Like, why did I pay for a full price LP and it fits, you know? That's the other thing is like, I do have the record somewhere around here, and it is, they put it on like 2 sides. So you have to switch the record 5 minutes in.
It's
like,
I gotta see,
and it's a 12-inch.
I was gonna say, I gotta see what version I have.
12-inch.
Because I think I got I know Asian Man put out a reissue of it a couple years ago, and I think I have that version. So I haven't spun it in a while. So I'm curious if it is, if it's double sided somehow. When it's like you could literally fit this all on one side, you know. But I think if you're doing 45 RPM, which that's the funny thing. I think Joyce Manor is maybe the only band that I know of where almost all their albums, if you buy them on vinyl, they're all going to be in 45 RPM because they're that short.
Yeah, you can get away with it. And it's like, but my old roommate was like, I love that record. I just think it should be illegal to call it an LP. And I was like, all right, whatever you say, I get it.
I get it, but you have a very simpleton view of an album. An album can be 13 minutes long. Okay. And it can be 13 minutes long, and that's totally fine.
A family can be 10 dads with no kids. That's how this works, man.
Exactly.
Like, big brain about it.
You can be an uncle and have no biological nephew. You know, I can be an uncle to the world. You know, it's all about having that magic. And
I'm gonna listen to this record.
Go again. It's 13 minutes.
I'm jamming this after I get off of here.
Also on this album, Violet, you're I know you're a Smiths fan, Violet, and Bride of Usher is like one of the most blatant like Morrissey impression, like we just wanted to make a Smith
Oh
song.
fuck yes.
Bride of Usher's great. Although Jay, what is we're talking about this record? So sorry to our listeners that don't like us nerding out about like actual music. Sorry that we're gonna do that on
Look,
my
last
episode.
time we nerded out about the Talking Heads for like way too long while Max sat there and his eyes glazed over. We're allowed a little bit of music nerdery on the Indieheads podcast.
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
Gavin isn't here to stop us.
Exactly. Jay, what is your take on the redone versions of two of the songs on this album that were done for the Toys That Kill split? The redone version of Tame and the redone version of Bride.
I love Toys That Kill with all of my heart. Like all of those Todd C bands, Toys That Kill, FYP, Underground Railroad to Candyland, all of those bands are so fucking cool to me. And so like putting the redone version of Tame and Bride on the 7-inch with like alongside some Toys That Kill songs is like cool to me, but they sound too much like the Toys That Kill songs that they are next to for me to like them anywhere near as much as one, the Toys That Kill songs that are on there, and two, the original versions that are on Of All Things. I think it's just like, it's cool that you did it, but I don't care as much as I would have otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
what do you think?
I was gonna say,
are you bigger on like this full band interpretation of it?
Okay, so Tame is solid. Obviously, I prefer the original version, but like I like because the thing is that the version on the album is a demo. Like it's a demo. Like I don't know if Barry has ever said that, but like it's very clearly a demo of the song. But I love that it's just like this fucked up lo-fi garage band like shitty ass riff. I love it, and obviously like this is how they do it live. I think it's perfectly fine to basically, hey, we want to put the live version on wax. That makes sense. That's totally fine. Why the fuck are you touching Bride of Usher? Bride of Usher does not sound like a demo. Bride of Usher is maybe one of the maybe the most finished song on Of All Things I Will Soon Grow Tired.
Yeah.
Like, why are you turning it into this like? I'm just gonna play it because I just fuck. It's my fucking episode. It's my podcast. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Like, why are you turning that song, this beautiful Smiths tribute song, essentially, into like this like chugging kind of shitty emo song?
Yeah.
Like why? Like what? Like I get like maybe you can't do it live, which is that's also bizarre to me. It's like you can do it live. Like that song does like if I was like that song does not sound like it'd be that difficult to do live. So like, why are you turning it into this? Like at the end of the day, it's still Bride of Usher, so it's still a pretty good song. But like, I just do not get why you decide. Like, I get wanting to redo Tame. Like, what of all the songs on this album, why is this the one you're like, let's redo this one too? Like, and I think even Barry, I think we did a Reddit AMA with him. I think even he was like, I have no fucking idea why I did that. Like, I have no idea why I decided to redo Bride of Usher. Like, makes no sense to me. So, you know.
Yeah.
The mind of our favorite himbo, Barry Johnson, you know. But, okay. Finale, we got, unless we had do we have any final thoughts on Joyce Manor, Jay? Maybe for a different episode, potentially?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you want to talk about it on a different episode, I just sent you the redone track list that I made. But yeah, like, dude, I don't know. I think they're just such a good band who is extremely faithful to what they cover and is extremely mindful of what they cover, that I think that, like, those cover choices are almost unimpeachable. So, I don't know. I'm rocking with it. I'm rocking with that cover. I'm very much rocking with Joyce Manor. And yeah.
Good ass song, good ass band. Excited for whatever the next Joyce Manor album is, and I like that my friend is in the band now. That is so fucking weird that my friend is in Joyce Manor. That being Neil Berthier, aka Phony. That's so so sick. I think he would have probably convinced them to do it anyways. But I do remember seeing them when they did that show at Long Beach Arena a couple years ago, like their biggest show. And I was talking with, Neil was just like out, just like hanging out, by the vent or just like in the concessions area. And like, he was just talking with some friends and I'm like, hey, Neil, what's up? We were talking. I'm like, "You guys gonna do any Tame stuff tonight?" And any of all things stuff tonight. And he's like, "Brother, I have been trying to convince Barry for so long to do more songs off that album, and we did get a couple. I think he did do Tame, and I think he did like a solo rendition of Bride of Usher, and there was maybe another one, but like we got some stuff, like." Barry will see the light eventually. Inshallah, he will see the light, and he will do more songs off this album. But let's move into our final song of the evening. And again, this is here's the thing: if you were a plebeian, you might think that this is bad. That you might think this sucks. It's terrible. It's dumb. It's stupid. If you're not enlightened like us, you may think this is bad, and that's why it's here, because not everyone that listens to this podcast is as enlightened as we are, and you listen to us because you are seeking enlightenment, and enlightenment you're about to receive as we talk about a guy that we have not talked about in a little bit, Young Jimmy. Of course, we have talked about
Let's go.
Sweet Maria on the podcast before, and Young Jimmy was a client, one of the first clients I worked with when I worked at my old job doing college radio promotion. And we saved him for a couple years because I was like, I don't want to disparage a former work client. But here's the thing. It's been years since this album's come out. And also I have a completely different job now. So I feel safe. I feel happy. And Young Jimmy, if you are listening to this, if you are somehow listening to this, we are saying this all with love. Okay. We are everything we're about to say is with love and true appreciation of your art, as we are about to hear his cover as Come As You Are by Nirvana. Sweet Maria is like, that should be the seminal Young Jimmy song, like that in the movies. But like, I would make a very strong case for this too, as
So, okay, I missed out on the Young Jimmy lore. Is the thing where it's like he's Young Jimmy, like he's Hendrix? Like, is that?
I don't
I think
know
his
if
name
that's
is just.
I think it's just his
I
name.
think yeah.
Okay.
His whole thing. So I worked with like him directly.
Yeah.
His whole thing, like he's like, my genre is hood rock. Like
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No, I've been pushing for the Lil Wayne Rebirth Pitchfork Sunday Review for a decade now. This is the reality. Like Young Jimmy comes from the reality where that album is rightfully hailed as a classic. Like that's where we're at. And also I gotta double check in who who he is. He's not a nepo baby. He's like a nepo like nephew, I think. Nepo nephew.
I'm trying to see who his like. Let's see. Growing up in the boogie down Bronx, rock music was not the norm by no means. It is the birthplace of hip hop and rap, known to the juxtaposition of the environment. Raised by a single mother in public housing, his stepfather was hip hop legend and rock and roll Hall of Famer Grandmaster Melly Mel. It is a nepo baby, but it's like a step nepo baby.
Look at the people he shared a stage with.
Yeah, as a backing
he
guitarist,
co-started photos with these people.
That's that is kind of what this is. Kendrick Lamar, Freddie Gibbs, Big Crit, Saul Williams, Talib Kweli, Michelle Williams, Grandmaster Melly Mel, Cam Franklin, Kendra Foster, Smoke Dizza, Rez, Kez Crew, Tanya Morgan, Little Debbie. Wait, Little Debbie?
Whoa, Little Debbie?
Is it that Little Debbie?
Yo, let's go.
It has to be.
Let's go. Well, yeah, there's only one, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
But we because we were talking about Young Jimmy, let's see. I assume the hook is going to come back at some point. We
have to talk about that.
We got to talk about the hook. The hook is that's really the key. That's the key element of the song. Here's the thing. If I heard this at karaoke, I'd be like, "Fucking go off, King! This is incredible." But
yeah.
There's something so incredible about, I don't know, gun flexing on a song originally by an artist that is so infamously entwined with their own taking their own life with a firearm that is
Yeah,
It's so
baffling
tasteless. It's so fucking
and-
tasteless. that It's so
so
funny.
cool.
but the day that Rocket 88 was discovered by Matty and sent to us, and because Sweet Maria was not the original song that was sent to us. It was a song called Beast Mode, of which lyric video was sent to us on YouTube, where the chorus has the line, "This the sequel," and the lyric video spelled it Squall, SQUAL. We became fascinated with Young Jimmy, and that's when we discovered Sweet Maria. We discovered the movies, and then the Sweet Maria music video was teased with a very short video, and then it was like 6 months until anything. And Gavin like messaged or commented on the teaser like, "When's the video dropping?" And then that week it dropped, and I don't know if Gavin is responsible. The Sweet Maria music video.
He has to be. He has to be like,
Sweet
oh shit, I
Maria
forgot that I
music
have
video,
this.
If
Yeah.
you
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
I forgot to drop the Sweet Maria music video.
the video for that, it makes me uncomfortable because Young Jimmy's backing band does look like Gavin and me pre-transition. Is all I'm gonna say, but Young Jimmy's dressed like the Red Room in Twin Peaks.
God, have we said this? We gotta send this to Kind of Talk Youths.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know
how many views does this have?
It's currently as of recording 36 views, and it was released 9 months ago.
That's everybody on the Indieheads Discord. Great job, guys.
He's just such a fascinating vocalist, you know. But by the way, you're not watching the video, listeners, but we are, and
Yeah.
this lady is doing all that for 36 views on YouTube, you know.
Yep.
I hope she was paid well.
Yeah, the check cleared, brother.
I mean, he is the stepson of Grandmaster Melly Mel, you know.
That's true.
That's true.
Does Young Jimmy still have a Twitter? The day we went through and we just looked up like watching,
yeah, we found a bunch of good tweets.
My favorite tweet he's ever done was now watching Mr. Bean. This guy's fucking stupid. I think of that one so many times.
Oh.
I also
guy
love
who is watching Mr. Bean and is like, you gotta like, no, like, dude, don't do that, Mr. Bean.
Me personally, if I was Mr. Bean, I wouldn't be doing that. you know?
I would have just not gotten into
Mr.
any
Bean's
of those situations if I
childish as
was.
fuck.
Look, if Mr. Bean,
He is childish as fuck. They don't talk about that.
look, if I was hanging out with Mr. Bean, I wouldn't let any of that go down. You know, I wouldn't let any of that nonsense happen around me. They call me they call me no nonsense Marty Monroe. You know, so
That's true.
I'm not about that bullshit. I'm not about that nonsense. But also, we need to hear.
How deep are we into recording, real quick, so I can ask if we're 2 hours in? Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Do you think Mr. Bean would have stopped 9/11? Like if he was in there, do you think?
I think he would have done it on accident.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
that's the whole thing. He would have accidentally like caused the plane to like land in
He
the
would have-
Hudson. You know.
Yeah. Oh, he would have like a cup of tea. Well, Evanescence isn't playing, so he can't land it in the Hudson.
Oh, of course.
But
True.
But I get the feeling he would be walking with like a cup of tea and he would knock into something and just a bunch of box cutters would go flying all over the airport,
Yeah.
you know?
Or like he's got like a really hot cup of tea and it like spills on one of the hijackers and it like just completely foils the plan.
Yeah, he's having to clean up the shirt.
They can't do it.
Because the guy he spills the tea on was going to be the main guy flying the plane, and like, well, shit, none of us can fly a plane, you know. So we gotta, that was
Mr. Bean
our
got
guy.
his luggage mixed up with Muhammad Atta, and that becomes wacky shenanigans. Well, I guess he wouldn't have packed luggage.
Yeah, there wasn't packing.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of just went for it. Yeah.
Do you think they had to pack to like not be suspicious? Like they had to pack up a bunch of clothes. This is so fucking dark.
To be fair though, like the TSA, obviously wasn't really checking for shit like that back before.
Well, yeah, that's true.
What happened? So Anyway, yeah, so Sweet Maria by Young Jimmy.
Yeah, let's listen to this line real quick. That our favorite
Mhm.
line of any song ever made. Oh. Greatest set of bars of all time.
I played this for my dad when he was barbecuing once, and it nearly fucking broke him, dude.
It's just, it's so sincere, and that's why I think there's a cynical part of me that maybe initially when I introduced Young Jimmy to the Indieheads podcast Discord, I did it cynically, but now I'm just like, I genuinely love Young Jimmy, even if he was kind of a nightmare to work with. Even if he was kind of a nightmare to work with throughout the campaign. But,
I mean, he found his fan base, and it is the Indieheads Discord.
But also, like, look, if I put that much money into my music that clearly he has based on this video, I'd be pretty emotionally invested, I'd be pretty want to know everything that's going down. Like Lupita, that's who you say?
That's so sick.
He's gone through every, slightly rhyming with Maria word in the dictionary.
God. This is amazing. This is so sick.
Mm-hmm.
I would
Now,
Zero
imagine if you will.
do we tap the glass and go love this one?
I mean, you worked with him. He'll
Maybe.
recognize your
I was
name.
gonna say he's gonna recognize me, so I can't. I already feel like I'm tapping the glass too much, even though it's been like 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think we could tap the glass on Young Jimmy.
Aside from what we're doing now, which is like, look, that's the thing, is that Mr. Beat found us, so
That was fucking insane.
that was insane. So I wonder.
I hope he finds us again and sees that we talked about how awesome he is.
Yes, please listen to the Joe Biden song by Mr. Beat. It's a good song. God, Young Jimmy is incredible. I love him. He's so cool. And again, I think I need to send this to Catatonic Youths because I think they get a real kick out of this. Although again, I would feel that's the thing is that like on one end, I want more people to know about Young Jimmy, but like, is that a cynical way for people to find out about Young Jimmy?
Well,
Possibly, but look, again, it's a common saying. Any PR is good PR, So
I feel like people are starting to really miss the boat on like what's going on with the Catatonic Youths thing.
Oh,
I feel like people are there to be really mean lately.
Look,
instead of doing the right thing, which is not tapping the glass and being nice to these people, so you keep getting videos like the Jack the Ripper guy.
It's just like I'm trying to think of what I was going to say. Oh yeah, I mean, speaking of Catatonic Youths, an episode idea that I've had rolling around in my head that I have to just like commit to, like I just have to like do the research, which I don't want to do because I'm gonna tell you the idea and you go, well, of course you don't want to like dive any further into that because that's horrifying. And Instagram Reels roguelike is the episode idea that I have rolling around in my head.
Matty, you're just opening yourself up to my boyfriend sending you more shit with that idea.
I know that's also a thing I have to consider, but also.
Yeah, to the listeners at home, my boyfriend sends Matty like 300 fucking videos a day,
and we love Moth. We love him.
We do.
We love him, even if Instagram Reels is the devil's invention. It is a creation by the Antichrist, and I do think that the way that people talk about TikTok, that is the way that I feel about Instagram Reels. We should be banning Instagram Reels.
Matty,
Even if TikTok is also kind of horrifying because 50 to 60% of my TikTok at this point is people doing drop shipping ads, but that's beside the point. I got a good deal from the TikTok shop. I got a mattress pad for my futon couch, because I needed it when Echo Astral stayed in my place.
Yeah.
Had a good time. Everyone slept comfortably. It was good.
Hell yeah.
And also, look, again, my plans are measured in centuries, and I realize that we are in the American century of humiliation, okay? And so If Xi
Mhm.
Jinping or any members of the CCP are listening to this episode, I have look, I have a degree in radio broadcasting. I am a professional orator. Okay, I've been doing this podcast for over 10 years. I have lots of radio experience, So if you do need a mouthpiece, just know that I can be very easily bought. My price tag is very low. Okay.
President Xi, fire when ready.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
We're
just press the button.
my people are my people are suffering, Xi Jinping. Every single day I look at Americans and I look at
Our people are listening to Ritt Momney.
our people are listening to Ritt
what to do.
Momney. Our people are listening to Lola Young, even though she's not from this country. Our people, Morgan Wallen is about to have a #1 song in this country again. Okay,
We'll get to
get
him
there.
this month or next month, whatever.
I think it's sometime in June probably. But Xi Jinping, again, we need you. Okay. And here's the thing. You're playing the long game. You're right. You're letting us bring ourselves down. Like, hey, why the hell would you attack us when we're already doing such a great job of that? And I understand, but look, my people need to be put out of their misery. Okay, we just need to be put out of our misery, and we need it to have. Just please. I don't want. Again. There are people in this country that deserve to suffer. They're all in the freaking White House. Okay.
Oh, I was about to say they're called the Indieheads podcast.
No.
Well, we deserve to suffer too, but we're doing different suffering. We're again, we are masochists. Okay. And when we as masochists, when even we cannot take the struggle anymore, something is very, very wrong with this country and it needs to be fixed. So please.
This is all your fault, Ritt Momney.
Yes. It literally be the damn Mormons. It literally be the damn Mormons. I'm saying it. Again, Indieheads podcast, Ranking the Religions. I could tell you at the bottom of the list. I'm not sure where at the bottom, but definitely bottom of the list is going to be Mormons. Definitely going to be low on the Ranking the Religions list.
No fucking, not rocking with them. They're low.
Nope,
They're
can't have fucking coffee.
Yeah.
These are the
They put milk in their Pepsi. Bro, they put milk in their Pepsi.
That's crazy. These are the people that invented soaking, okay? We can't...
I was about to say soaking.
Soaking, what's the thing?
They're just soaking.
What's the thing that they do where they have people like jump on the bed?
That's soaking.
The jump hump is fake, but I will say...
No,
like,
here's the thing.
It's not a cool religion, brother.
It's not a cool religion. It was made...
don't look up how they think other races came into this world.
Yeah.
Don't look up what they did in the 1980s so their college basketball teams would be good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So very low, and we're not going to do any more Ranking the Religions. We just want to get that one done. And
that was a little teaser for our next episode.
That's a little teaser for the eventual Ranking the Religions episode, which will again look if the CCP, if a member of the CCP, if you have the venture capital money to join our venture capitalist tier, we will finally do the Ranking the Religions episode. Okay, we will finally do it. So keep that in mind. Once again, we can be bought. I was on a date recently, and I think the question got posed of like, what would be a life changing amount of money for you to receive? Like, what is the lowest amount? And my date was like, I don't know, $100,000. And then I was like, it would probably be about $5,000 for me. If I got $5,000, that'd be a life changing amount of money. So that's all to say. We did not go on a second date, and that I can be bought. Okay, so that's all we gotta say.
Oh yeah.
All I'm saying is, I have no morals, I have no backbone, and I have a need to purchase estrogen. So, pay Maddie's rent.
Yeah. So
I can be bought, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, fuck. What I want to listen to. So we're gonna listen to one more Young Jimmy song, and then we're gonna end this out. I want to listen. Right. It's been a while since I've heard Beast Mode, So, There's so many.
Niggas know I'm diesel, capable of evil. My heart is peaceful. Words spit lethal. My fists can reach you. I ride for my people. Yeah,
This is so sick.
Yeah, Black Beatles.
the world's not equal.
This is not that different, by the way, from that fucking Kid Cudi album. This is not that different. If anything, this is
Yeah,
better.
no.
Keep Cudi wishes.
Yeah. Again, this goes hard. This goes hard. Young Jimmy, we love you. We love you, Young Jimmy. If you're
I do
listening, we
love Young
you.
Jimmy. I was gonna buy a Young Jimmy hat, but I'm broke.
Yeah, fuck. He actually put out a song in 2024. Did I realize that?
Oh, it's called Heavy.
Here we go. Okay, sorry. The Come As You Are.
Sweet Maria is.
The Come As You Are album cover. Welcome back, Little Ugly Mane. Welcome back with this album art for Come As You Are.
Jesus.
It's so fire.
Yeah, this is fire.
Holy shit.
The sperm and this is the Latour People Are Still Having Sex album cover.
Yeah.
Or the music video to that.
We got sexy X-ray ladies. We got jellyfish. We got sperm cells. We got a gun being point like the gun that's used in all the memes.
Yes.
This is what Harmony Korine wishes he could be doing with Edgelord.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Young Jimmy. Harmony Korine, get in contact with Young Jimmy. He'd be a great star in your movies.
He would be so fucking good in a Harmony Korine movie.
Absolutely. All right, that's it. That's going to wrap it up. Thank you all for listening to this episode. Sorry for doing like two very similar subjects, like basically in a row. We did that recently, right? Where we did.
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago at this point. Was it fucking? It wasn't last week.
No, it was like last month where we just we just like, you know what, we had fun doing this, so we're just gonna do this again.
It's called a series.
Oh yeah, we did two same fucking song again episodes in a row because we
did do those in a row.
I was like, why not? It was fun. But yeah, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you all for listening. So we have redone the schedule. So I can say, here's the thing. I can say next week that the scheduled episode we have is actually going to be that episode. So it's the episode name, A White Girl's Cell Phone is Ringing at Claire's. Picture that in your mind's eye. If you know, and that's what we're going to get on the episode next week. But on top
do we
of
also
that,
want to announce the other thing?
Oh yeah. We don't need to keep it as a surprise. We're finally doing it. Violet has been in contact with our Guy of the Year winner, DG, and we are dropping. We are going to be recording a DG interview. We're recording that on Monday as we're recording. So we're recording this on Friday. So we are recording that next week, and that episode will probably be out some point in May. So hey, the DG interview, the Indieheads podcast, ex DG, and probably Moodtown collab. It's happening. It's coming out.
Yeah.
We're very, very excited.
She's excited. I'm excited. This is going to be a great time.
Yes.
She has been doing X's the Musical. She's excited to talk about that. It has been getting really fucking good reviews. She's been posting about them. I'm excited to talk to her, you know? Like, we have talked about DG a lot on this pod, but talking to her and talking about basically how she has created X's into its own cohesive stage show is going to be very exciting for me. I'm scared of what the indie heads are going to have cooking for that, because I am going to open the floor to questions from our friends, and
yes,
I'm worried about if what Wilford Throw and Beverly March have to say to DG.
Yes, so please tune in for that at some point, probably next week. But yeah, we got some busy. We also another like not bonus episode planned also at some point in May/June. And also I did not say on the episode, we haven't talked about it, that's a shame on me. So sorry. Liberation Weekend in Washington, D.C., music festival that's run by our good friends Echo Astral. and we can say we were there. All right, for Echo Astral, we called that shot real fucking early, and it is that shot was called, and it paid the fuck off. As myself and Jackie are going to be there. Jackie is doing an official DJ Horse Jeans set during one of the
Hell yeah.
afters of Liberation Weekend, and I will be there too. I'm not performing as far as I'm aware. Although if I'm asked, hey, Matty, you want to do like Lit My Own Worst Enemy or Break Stuff live? Look, I'm not going to be opposed. But I will be in DC for Liberation Weekend. So for any listeners that are going to be out there, if you see me, please say hi. I want to hang out. Let's chat. If you want to yell at me for some of my music takes I made online, please feel free. I'm happy to discuss and tell you why you're wrong, and why I'm right, not on a boo-boo. So, yeah, please, Liberation Weekend. It's going to be a very good, fun weekend. Really great lineup. If you are in the DC area and you don't already have tickets, get fucking tickets. Let me see if I have the website. I can just say the website real quick so you can very easily buy your tickets. In fact, we'll just put a link in the description to buy tickets for Liberation Weekend. So if you want to buy a ticket, go to the link in the description of this episode, as tickets are very, very low as of recording. And honestly, by the time this comes out, there may be a day or two that's sold out. So, hey, in case they're not, get those tickets now. Liberation Weekend in Washington, D.C. at the Black Cat and DC 9, as this is also my first time visiting Washington, D.C. So I'm very excited for that aspect too. So yeah, that's all I got. That's all I wanted to shout out on this episode. Now that we're over, any other shout outs y'all want to make before we head out?
Real quick.
Mhm.
Real quick. If you have made it to this point in the episode, this is on topic with the subject of covers.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any information leading to the ability for me to hear the Hop Along cover of Bomb Track by Rage Against the Machine again, there's an old video of it on YouTube that is like completely gone, but I need somebody to help me find it. And that could be you, Indieheads podcast listener.
CanCon,
You have the ability.
CanCon, find it.
CanCon.
This is a job for CanCon.
If we can get, that is a job for CanCon. If we can get somebody to find this fucking thing, I've been looking for it happened in 2015. So I don't know. I think it's been off the internet for 5+ years now, but we need it back. We need Hop Along covering Rage Against the Machine again.
Exactly. So yeah, there we go.
That's all I need.
There we go. Thank you all for listening to this episode. We will see you all next week. And yeah, bye-bye.